Now, we proudly present Berwick Bulldogs football on Pop Radio. Brought to you by
Overhead Door of Berwick, Berwick Notary, State Farm Insurance, Sean Black and Lori Powell, First Keystone Community Bank, the Willows Golf Course, Journey Bank, Flick Brothers Electric in Bloomsburg, Blaze Alexander Family Buick GMC of Bloomsburg, Berwick Dental Arts, W&L Subaru, Nissan and Mazda, Reds Roofing, Preferred Portables, Nespoli Jewelers, Neighborhood Fence, Ken Pollock Ford, Mayo Funeral Home, ND Accounting and Consulting, and Mason's Monogram Service.
Now, live from the studio, here's Jim Doyle and Andy Ulickney.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight from Crispin Field in Berwick, it's the Bulldogs against the Trojans of Nanticoke. I am Jim Doyle along with Andy Ulickney. The producer of this broadcast is Ben Willis. It was the opening game of the 1988 season. Berwick played at Nanticoke. The Bulldogs won handily 41-7, and that was the start of a magical, undefeated state championship season for the Bulldogs, the first of 6 in school history. That was the last time Berwick played Nanticoke. But now, with Berwick in the same division of the Wyoming Valley Conference as the Trojan, with Berwick in District 2 AAA, same as the Trojans, this looks to be a regular game on the Bulldogs schedule. Both teams come in struggling with wins and losses. Both teams 1-5. The Bulldogs win coming 2 weeks ago here against Hanover Area 48-6. Nanticoke coming 3 weeks ago, a 14-12 win over Tunkhannock. Andy Ulickney with us for Bulldogs football tonight. Andy, you were there for that 1988 game, as was I. It was the start of a magical season. This is not a magical season for the Bulldogs, no. But in our talks on traveling, you do see progress. Last week against a very, very good Wyoming area team, I thought Berwick was competitive for most of the game. Good signs and a lot of underclassmen leading the way.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing as the team develops. It was a young team and a young program, a new young coaching staff. And as you go week by week by week, you're seeing the incremental progress that's coming. I've been happier seeing a little bit more aggressiveness on defense, a little bit better tackling. I've been happy with some of the maneuvering to get people into the right positions. I've been pleased with some of the discipline to limit the penalties. All the things that make you just a step better, a step better, a step better. How much better the record would be if, they opened the season that way, if you were that sharp. Yeah, but you just can't do that in preseason. That comes with the on-field experience, on the varsity level experience that comes. And I think they're hoping to finish very strong and make a statement tonight.
Gavin Galusha was having a fine season. He was their leading rusher, but he's missed the last couple of games with a concussion. He's back in there. And with Galusha going straight ahead and all those speedsters on the outside led by Ty Wilkerson and Billy Hansen, a terrific running quarterback, this team offensively has some potential.
You have the potential tools. Gavin Galusha is a very strong running back, and I think you'll see Ty Wilkerson back there as well. You put that extremely dangerous speedster back there at running back or at Wildcat, people really have to adjust. And I think they have the speedsters and a good tight end in Gabe Decker, that they have the offensive weapons. And the core of it is that offensive line, Jim. That's been strong through most of the year and only getting stronger with each game.
And we'll be by later with the keys to tonight's game. When we return, we'll hear from the interim head coach of the Trojans, Ron Brusa. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Pop Radio.
Planning your next big event? Weddings, concerts, church festivals, even construction sites. Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. No power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. They even provide sanitary service to campgrounds, parks, parties, and have 24-hour emergency service. Contact Preferred Portables to learn about event and contractor pricing. Check out their website, preferredportables.com. We're number one when you have to go number two.
Berwick Dental Arts, 9th Street in Berwick, is proud to be keeping generations of beautiful smiles across Bulldog Nation. Dr. Susan Ermish, Dr. Nathaniel Fluke, and their staff practice general and restorative dentistry, and they're open Monday through Friday. Whether you need a simple cleaning or a complicated procedure, Berwick Dental Arts will see that you have the best smile so you can be your best. Berwick Dental Arts, 9th Street in Berwick, is a proud supporter of Berwick Bulldogs football. Visit their website at berwickdentalarts.com.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding, specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
Free checking for you and your business. No strings attached. Sounds perfect, right? First Keystone Community Bank offers free personal and business checking options with free Visa debit card, no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and no monthly qualifying requirements. Checking with no gimmicks, just what you need. They'll be celebrating 160 years of serving their communities with 19 full-service locations and convenient digital banking tools 24/7. First Keystone Community Bank. Local banking for the community we all call home. Online at fkc.bank. Equal Opportunity Lender, member FDIC.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
The 7th weekend of the 10-week 2024 regular season, where high school football is concerned, kicks off tonight here at Crispin Field on a perfect weather night. It's the Bulldogs going against the Trojans of Nanticoke. Ron Bruza is the interim head coach of Nanticoke. He stepped in after the untimely death of head coach Scott Dennis just 3 days before the start of the regular season. Bruza on how the team has responded to that tragedy.
You know, the team's dedicated the season to Coach Dennis, who was an incredible individual, great coach, educator. You know, I have nothing but respect for, Coach Dennis and his family and, everything they've been through. But, Coach Dennis wasn't only able to reach these individuals, he actually touched their hearts as well. So, it was a setback for the team moving forward, but, they dedicated their season. They work hard, they're playing hard, and they're working to get better each week, in his honor.
You have a running back, Keston Allen, who's had some good numbers. Tell us about him.
Oh, Treston's he's a great kid, very undersized, but he has a heart of a lion. A lot of times he'll put the team on his back, in time of need, in order for us to be successful. And he's definitely a team leader, and he was selected team leader by Coach Dennis and his peers prior to the season.
Now you take on the Bulldogs of Berwick at Crispin Field. What's your view of them? What concerns you?
Oh, that Berwick, big physical, well-coached football team, with CJ there. I know CJ and Coach Dennis were very close. Coach Dennis spoke very highly of CJ being his freshman coach when he was down at Berwick. Football-rich tradition. We're excited to get down there and just want to play, a physical football game.
That's Ron Bruza, interim head coach of the Trojans of Nanticoke. He spent 14 seasons as the head coach. One of his best was last season. They went 7-5. They won a playoff game in the District 2 playoffs, beating Crestwood, and then eventually lost in the semifinals of District 2 3A to a Dallas team that made it to the state finals. His Trojans come into this game with a record of 1-5. Berwick against Nanticoke, the starting lineups after this. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 35 years experience. And new Bulldog wear for every age, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, polos, hats, and more. They even make online fundraising easy for you. Stop in today to discuss your next fundraising opportunity. You can also shop at masonsmonogramming.com for their new inventory and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogramming for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram Service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
This is Mike from M&M Carpet One in Bloomsburg. Is this the first time you've shopped with us? Let me explain why you should shop at a Carpet One store. We have over 1,300 store buying power. Carpet One stores sell more floor covering than the two big box stores do combined. That means not only do you get the best price, but you get to work with flooring professionals throughout the entire process, from estimates to installation. No one will give you more for your flooring dollar than M&M Carpet One in Bloomsburg.
For over 50 years, you've trusted Overhead Door to provide the finest quality residential and commercial garage door products, installation, and service. With winter right around the corner, your garage doors need a tune-up. For only $99 for one or $125 for multiple doors, they'll check, lube, and adjust your garage doors and openers so they operate smoothly. Call for their seasonal tune-up special, Overhead Door of Berwick. They're more than just doors. See their 5-star rating on their Google business page or visit ohdberwick.com.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
31st meeting between Berwick and Nanticoke tonight, but the first since 1988. Berwick actually leads the series 18-10-2, and there were some unmemorable games for the Bulldogs. In 1920, Nanticoke allegedly won 105-0. 1923, Nanticoke beat Berwick 132-0. We expect a little closer game tonight. There's a lot going on here at Crispin Field this evening in addition to the game. Very soon, the youth football players and cheerleaders for the Berwick youth football program will be introduced to the crowd here. Later on, there'll be homecoming festivities. Also, there are going to be some special ceremonies to honor Scott Dennis. His family will be part of the ceremonial coin toss at the beginning of this game. Starters for Nanticoke, and you'll notice when I go through these starters that I'm not listing any heights and weights. The reason for that is simple. The rosters provided by Nanticoke have no heights and weights. We can tell you that the tight end is a senior. He is number 43, Manny Sosa. He has 4 receptions on the season for 13 yards. He's also run 16 times for 29 yards. The left tackle is number 65, Ryan Gensel. He is a freshman, wearing number 65. The left guard is number 57, Owen Atkins, a senior. A sophomore starts at center, number 66, Reagan Jackson. The right guard is number 50, Al-Sharif Millerons. You will notice seniors through this starting lineup, including Millerons, but they're inexperienced seniors because a year ago, Nanticoke had 26 seniors on their roster and again made it to the district semifinals with that roster. Jaden Tehran is the right tackle. He also is a senior for this team. At a wide receiver spot is number 22, Dennis Hall. He's a sophomore. We'll also see James Bush, number 8, a sophomore who has 3 receptions on the season for 32 yards. They don't throw the ball much, just 47 total passes in their first 6 games. Those passes coming from Michael Stahoviak. He is a junior. 38% pass completion for 108 yards, 4 interceptions, no touchdowns. Leading rusher on this team in this wing T offense that Ron Brusa employs, number 3, Tristan Allen. He is a senior, 80 carries, 273 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He had a 45-yard touchdown in that game against Lake Lehman last week, the only score for the Trojans in that 35-7 defeat. At the fullback in the wing T is number 6, Tyler Skordensky. He's a senior, 7 carries on the season for 76 yards. He's averaging over 10 yards a carry. He's also caught a couple of passes. And the other halfback opposite Tristan Allen is number 4, Chris Julian. He is a junior who has 33 carries on the season. So those are the starters for the Trojans of Nanticoke. Under Ron Brusa, the interim head coach, they come in 1-5. We'll check the starters for the Bulldogs when we return. You're listening to Berwick Football and Pop Radio.
At Journey Bank, we believe your checking account should do more for you. That's why we offer Bazing Checking. With Bazing Checking, enjoy cell phone protection, roadside assistance, and savings both in-store and online at over 300,000 local and national retailers.
Bazing Checking not only helps me save money with deals and discounts, it also protects my cell phone and provides peace of mind when I'm on the road.
Bazing Checking. It's banking that looks out for you. Switch to Bazing Checking at Journey Bank today. Visit journeybank.com or stop by any of our 20 community office locations. Journey Bank. Let's get you there.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
Are your appliances feeling a little bit outdated? You looking for the best deals in town? Well, look no further than Flick Brothers Electric, your go-to family-owned appliance paradise. Flick Brothers Electric has all the top-notch name-brand appliances you could ever dream of. Washers, dryers, refrigerators, dishwashers, microwave stoves. They even give free estimates on Fujitsu ductless air conditioner heat pump units. Flick Brothers Electric on Maple Lane, keeping Bloomsburg cool, clean, and cooking for over 65 years. Call them at 570-784-3444.
Family tradition is the foundation of Nespoli Jewelers. A family tradition started by Joseph Nespoli and continued by his grandson Jonathan. For 3 generations, Nespoli Jewelers have prided themselves on mixing fine with fashion. Jonathan can customize your engagement ring and wedding bands, design a unique piece of jewelry inspired by you, or simply help you find an affordable gift. Service, quality, creativity. Nespoli Jewelers. Yesterday's principles, today's creations. East Front Street in Berwick and online at nespolijewelers.com.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Beautiful night for high school football here at Crispin Field, home to Berwick football since 1929. Here's the starting lineup offensively for the Bulldogs. At the tight end, number 9, Gabe Decker. He is a 6'3", 180-pound freshman. 7 receptions on the season for 75 yards. The left tackle is number 56, J.J. Leonard, 6 foot, 255, junior. The left guard is number 70, Draven Geiger, 5'11", 275, a junior. Gavin Jones starts at center. He wears number 51, 5'8", 215-pound senior. Matt Gordner, number 62, is the right guard, 6 foot, 280 pounds, a junior. And the right tackle, number 64, Chase Shuckers, 6'2", 265, a senior. At one wide receiver position, number 7, Julian Howie, 6'2", 185-pound senior, 5 catches on the season for 50 yards. At another wide out, number 13, Alex Estrella, 5'10", 175-pound junior. He had a brilliant touchdown run at Wyoming area last week, 59 yards altogether, really showing off that track speed of his. The quarterback is number 0, Billy Hansen. He is 6'1", 175, a senior. 25 carries on the season for 127 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Passing just 7 for 19 for 35 yards. When he was a wide receiver, he caught 5 passes for 77 yards and a touchdown. Not sure who will be the starting tailback tonight, but Gavin Galusha, who was the leading rusher before his concussion that kept him out the last couple of weeks. He's 5'10", 170, a sophomore, 54 carries, 232 yards, and a touchdown. At the fullback position, when we see one, we'll see number 90, Aiden George, a 6'1", 220-pound sophomore. And Ty Wilkerson is becoming more and more involved in this offense as the weeks go by. The 6'2", 190-pound junior, District 2 champion in the 100 meters, 10 receptions for 93 yards. But he's averaging over 10 yards a carry in 26 attempts, 268 yards and 4 touchdowns, including a long touchdown run out of the Wildcat in the first half of that game last week against Wyoming area. So those are the starters for the Bulldogs under C.J. Curry in his first season as head coach. They come in with a 1-5 record. That victory a couple of weeks ago right here at Crispin Field against Hanover area. So it's the Bulldogs against the Trojans. First time in a long time. We'll be back to hear the keys to tonight's game from Andy Lickney. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
It won't be long before tax time rolls around, so remember to visit Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting for your income tax needs. ND Accounting and Consulting handles both business and individual taxes, as well as offering a variety of accounting services, including payroll, auditing, and bookkeeping. For tax and accounting services, look for Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting with 2 locations, 214 Pine Street in Berwick and 5929 Main Road in Sweet Valley.
Are you in the market for a new set of wheels? Once you find it, whether it's a functional grocery getter or a midlife crisis hot rod, the tag and title experts at Berwick Notary in Berwick are open 6 days a week, so you can be rest assured you'll be on the road and legal in no time. Berwick Notary can transfer a title, register an ATV or any kind of vehicle, and they're the only notary in Columbia County that registers boats. Berwick Notary's been serving the Bulldog community for over 40 years, and they proudly support the Berwick Bulldogs. Check out their Facebook page and go Dogs.
Free checking for you and your business. No strings attached. Sounds perfect, right? First Keystone Community Bank offers free personal and business checking options with free Visa debit card, no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and no monthly qualifying requirements. Checking with no gimmicks, just what you need. They'll be celebrating 160 years of serving their communities with 19 full-service locations and convenient digital banking tools 24/7. First Keystone Community Bank. Local banking for the community we all call home. Online at fkc.bank. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates. Why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding. Specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties. With owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
This is Berwick football coach CJ Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Bulldogs making their way out of the field house across the way to our right, the Curry field house. And there's quite a gauntlet on either side, provided by the youth football players and cheerleaders. We see Nanticoke now making their way out of the field house across the way and to our left. The Bulldogs against the Trojans. Keys to tonight's game, Andy Lichty.
Well, both teams, want the win, Jim. 1 win, 5 losses each way, and it's significant to try to get this one. Nanticoke wants to do it with their wing offense. That's 3 running backs in the backfield. You don't employ a flanker. You don't worry too much about the split ends. There'll be a fullback behind the quarterback. There'll be 1 halfback aside of him, and the other halfback will be on the wing. Now, they can do it left, they can do it right, either way. But that guy on the wing will be off the tight end usually and a step back from him. Now, what do you do out of that? It's an awful lot of deception. Often at the snap of the ball, there's going to be a lot of crossing in the backfield. The quarterback's going to try to hide the ball. Tough to see who's going to get it and just which way that they're going to go. Will it go to the fullback on a belly play straight up the middle or a quick trap? Will it go to the halfback crossing from one side to the other, diving straight ahead? Will it go to the wingback on an inside counter? So an awful lot of deceptions at that snap. A lot of crossing actions, a lot of wingback counters. Pulling guards, they're going to be trapping, they're going to be kicking out to get the perimeter. There's going to be double reverses, 2 handoffs. That's a staple in the wing T offense. So Berwick's defense has to stop that wing T. Now, they've seen it earlier in the year. They're going to play a 5-3 defense, which puts 8 men in the box, which is a little stronger than 7 men in the box against a running team. The thing is, those 5 linemen and 3 linebackers have to play their area of responsibility. Often an aggressive defensive player wants to move quickly to the ball, but if you go on first movement, you're often deceived and leaning the wrong way or taking a step or 2 the wrong way, and they'll come back against you. So play their area of responsibilities. Can't rush on that first movement. A lot of people who play against a wing T feel one of the best defenses is to key the guards as a linebacker. The guards will usually take you to the play. They come at you as a linebacker, you'll go at them because they're coming straight at you. If they pull left or they pull right, follow the guard. They'll usually take you to where the running back wants to go. That's where their key block is going to be. So we'll see how Berwick stays. If they're able to stay honest, keep their areas of responsibility, responsibility. Maybe key those guards and stop the wing T of the Nanticoke Trojans. Flipping around, Berwick's offense, well, they're hoping to overpower this Nanticoke team. They've struggled through the course of the year. The Nanticoke defense is a little undersized and inexperienced. It's allowing 38 points a game. So the impact of Berwick's offensive line, one of the strengths of the team, is going to come into play. You want to emphasize their experience and their size and use them. Behind them, power things with the running backs. Gavin Galusha is back. I felt he had a tremendous start to the season, out a number of games with concussion. He's thrilled to be back. He's been ready to explode waiting on the sideline, and he's fit for this one. Ty Wilkerson will be in the backfield, and we saw how explosive he could be last week. Whether you put him in Wildcat or whether you pitch him the ball on sweeps, his speed is just so dangerous. He can make anything happen, and he has enough power to get by the first line. He can make those first people miss. He can drop his shoulder, and boy, when he can get sideline, no one's going to catch him. And of course, you also have Billy Hansen, quarterback. He's been put there as a running threat. He's a very, very average passer, if even average, but he's an extremely good impromptu runner. He'll start with a quarterback sweep, change directions, and make you miss. He'll call an ole. So that's the way I see the keys, Jim.
Very emotional night here, Crispin Field, and now in honor of the late Scott Dennis, a moment of silence.
We now ask you to turn your attention to the 50-yard line, where Coach Dennis' family will flip the coin for tonight's game.
Scott's sons, Roy and Scott Jr. are on the field along with Scott's grandson. Of course, this means so much to both teams. C.J. Curry, the head coach of Berwick, played for Scott Dennis in the junior high program at Berwick. And Ron Bruza, of course, hired Scott Dennis to be the assistant coach for him the last 2 years, and was set to step aside and have Scott take over.
The reaction of laughter, Jim, I have to laugh.
Yeah,
Scott's grandson is out there, and he flipped that coin so high and over his shoulder that it went about 10, 15 yards away. They discounted that coin toss by the little guy, and they did another one, and it was a token coin toss anyway, but wonderful to see his grandson down there as part of this memorial.
Both teams were lined up about 10 yards onto the field, again, in honor of the late Scott Dennis. You know, he was the head coach at Holy Redeemer. He was the head coach at Central Columbia. But, boy, there's something special, as I'm sure C.J. Curry can tell you, about being the coach at your alma mater.
I think everyone who met Scott Dennis recognizes how special he was, Jim. I'd say he was my favorite broadcasting partner, but I don't want to offend you. Scott helped us out in a playoff weekend, and we had rainouts, and Berwick was playing the same time when the Huskies were playing. And Scott accompanied me to California. We spent an overnight there, and we did the game. And what a joy to hear his insights to football, you know, from this coaching background and everything he knew. And he was close with the Huskies because his son was coaching there. And, you know, it was a fellow I didn't know at all till that night when I met him on the drive, and immediately bonded and became friends to the point we're calling each other, you know, during the summer just to talk. A wonderful person, a wonderful coaching mind, and anyone who's ever dealt with Scott certainly appreciates him.
His son Roy, of course, longtime assistant coach, including in this program, and he still has players that he knows from his days here. He's embracing several of them on the sideline down below us to our right. Nanticoke will get the football to start this one. The Trojans will be moving from our right to our left. And Caleb Yost will be kicking off for Berwick. Treston Allen will be among the people deep. Chris Julian as well for the Trojans.
James Bush also joining them back there. Berwick will be kicking from the right hash. Soccer style approach. He's only going to take 3 steps, Jim.
James Bush is a sophomore who had a 94-yard touchdown return against North Pocono. There's a pooch kick to the sideline headed toward the out of bounds.
Ooh.
Does it go out of bounds? There's a collision near the sideline. I don't think it did.
How is it going to be ruled? Number 44 for Berwick was down there. That's Brock Sims, Jim. He caught it in the air, but his momentum then took him out of bounds as he rolled with it. They're going to call it as an out of bounds, and they're going to spot it where it went out, where it was being touched by the Berwick player.
Berwick was reacting like they had the football.
I thought they may have. It was a question of how they saw it. In the eyes of the official, it went Nanticoke's way. It could have gone the other way just as easily.
So the Trojans will have it 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. Berwick defensively, 5-man front, Gabe Decker, J.J. Leonard, Chase Shuckers, Matt Gordner, and Skylar Neville. And now we'll have an interesting situation for this first snap. Both teams are going to take a knee, and the referee, Harry Kaska, is going to wipe it off, but this is symbolic in memory of the late Scott Dennis.
Lined across, 11 for the defense, 10 for the offense. Starting the clock. Will they snap the football? They're all on the knee.
See how Harry Kaske plays this. The referee standing back at the 28-yard line.
They might run the 25 seconds off, which would be a delay of game, but everyone is on the knee. Quarterback with one setback behind him and a wing. The rest at the line of scrimmage, and Berwick all 11 at the line. There's the whistle. And in talking to Harry Kaske before the game, he said he's going to just wave the flag off. I said, can you do that? Because I can do whatever I want. And he can. He's a veteran.
1st and 10 for Nanticoke at their own 33. The linebackers for Berwick tonight: Shiloh Escobar, Rocco Romeo moves to the middle, and Everett Snyder. The corners: Ty Wilkerson and Braden Schaefer. And the safety is Alex Estrella. 1st and 10 Trojans. First snap of the game from their own 33-yard line. Out of the wing tee. Man in motion. The call goes to Allen, and Treston Allen will lose yardage back to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, Berwick got great penetration off its defensive left. Tackled the end and the linebacker on that side. They quickly read the sweeping action out of the backfield, and that's going to be a loss of about 6.
They mark it at the 28. We'll call it 2nd and 15 for the Trojans at their 28-yard line. Dennis Hall, wide receiver to the left. Again, out of the wing tee, a wing to either side. Skudensky is the fullback. Sweeping the left side is Allen. This time he has a little bit of running room and squirts out to the original line of scrimmage to the 33.
Gabe Decker able to throw him to the ground.
Decker coming off a terrific effort last week. 9 tackles against a very, very good Wyoming area team.
Yeah, very, very active in that, growing into the position defensively, and same with his tight end offensively. A star for this team this year. He's going to be a star for the next 3 years.
3rd down and 10. Let's see how the Trojans, who throw it very rarely, play it here. Stahoviak, the junior quarterback, under center. Backs at an open set behind him. Takes the snap, back to throw, rolling right, in trouble, gets the pass away, incomplete. Barely got that pass away.
Yeah, really coming in hard on him was Skylar Neville from the defensive end position on the left. He had pressure on that first down play as well, so the quarterback really not enough time to set and throw. Unable to complete it, it'll be 4th and long.
Julian Howie is back anticipating the punt. Manny Sosa is the punter. Reagan Jackson, a sophomore, does the long snapping for this team. Sosa back at the Trojans' 17-yard line.
Looks deep, but it looks to be the standard 15 yards.
Snap is a good one, but a flag.
Yeah, they had a setback behind the left guard, and they put him in motion legally to the right. But before that, and I don't even understand what the reasoning for the motion was, someone else jumped out of the stance. So 2 people in motion at the same time will induce a 5-yard penalty against Nanticoke.
4th and 15. Now for the Trojans. Punter back at the 14-yard line. Low snap. It's Julian. He's going to run with the football. Has a little bit of running room to the 35. Ty will not get the first down, goes to the 37-yard line. Chris Julian was moved in to the punter spot, and the running back carried the ball for positive yardage, but not enough, and Berwick takes over at the Trojan 37.
Everett Snyder sensed it and chased it. Now, he had the soft corner on the right where they had nice blocking and people were backing up the block for the punt return. He saw this. He's a bit of a rugby-style kicker, so when he took 2-3 steps, I'm thinking no big deal, but then he took 4, 5, 6 steps, and then he turned it into a sprint.
So the Bulldogs, after that gain of 9, take over at the Trojan 37-yard line, and Ty Wilkerson out of the Wildcat sweeps the right side, turns the corner, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10-5, and he is in for a touchdown. Ty Wilkerson against Wilding area, get it from the Wildcat. This one goes on Berwick's first play from 37 yards out.
Basic sweep, Jim, but when you see that type of speed that you haven't seen before, you tend to misplay it. They had people with an angle near the line of scrimmage, person with an angle 10 yards into the run, but he's just, with his acceleration, losing those angles and taking it all the way in. One cut at the 5.
Caleb Yost out of the hold of Ashton Smith. His kick is up, and his kick is good. Time on the field. 10:21 to go first quarter. Berwick 7, Nanticoke nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Pop Radio.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Quick start for Berwick after Everett Snyder tackles the punter on the fake punt. Bulldogs take over at the 37. They start out in the Wildcat. Ty Wilkerson takes the snap, sweeps the right side, goes in for the touchdown. Caleb Yost with the extra point, and an early 7-0 Bulldogs advantage, 10:21 remaining in this opening quarter.
Wilkerson, with his speed, makes the soft corner, and then at the 5-yard line, as one man to beat, he just breaks to the inside and beats him.
Another pooch kick. It goes off, and this one does go out of bounds. So Nanticoke will have it in good field position for their second possession.
They're kicking it to where Brock Sims, the man here on the end on the Berwick sideline, is sprinting with the kick. While it's in the air, he's hoping to get down to where he can almost catch the ball or catch it on the bounce. Not quite as close as the last time, and the ball wasn't kicked as far. But you can see the design of what it is they want to do. They want him to get down and catch that ball before it goes out of bounds.
Let's see, I think they're going to give Nanticoke the ball after a 5-yard walk-off from where it went out of bounds, which will put it at the 47. So great field position for the Trojans on their second possession at their own 47 as they move from our right to our left here in the opening quarter. Pitch to Allen, and he is buried. What penetration by Everett Snyder. He almost caught the pitch.
Yeah, that will lose another 5 yards on that, Jim, and there's just nowhere to go. You're in this sort of 8-man front, and they're even cheating the corners up, so it becomes a 10-man front with just a safety. They're blitzing people or committing people through to meet people in the backfield. That's the second time they've opened the series with a 5-yard loss.
Second down from the 43-yard line. Stahoviak under center, a wing to either side. Allen is the lone running back directly behind him. Allen gets the call, and Rocco Romeo wraps him up after a gain of maybe a yard on the play. Rocco's had a terrific season from his linebacker position for the Bulldogs. In fact, he leads the team in tackles coming in this one with 21. He just got his 22nd as a gain of a yard to the 44, 3rd and 13.
Yeah, linebackers like Rocco Romeo, like Gabe Decker, people we're seeing back off the ball, Everett Snyder. are either cheating up to the line of scrimmage and crashing, or crashing immediately from their linebacker spot on the snap, and they're just making penetration and making plays.
Stahoviak under center. Man comes in motion.
Yeah.
Berwick comes across.
And Berwick's pointing, though. Matt Gordner's pointing toward an offensive tackle. Hey, he flinched.
Yeah, well, they're trained to do that.
And they're getting it. Yeah.
No, it's against.
No, it went the other way. I'm sorry. My head, it just spun around.
Third down and 8 for Nanticoke at their 49-yard line.
Must have been a hard count, Jim, because about 4 Berwick players all jumped at the same time. So instead of going on the first hut, they called it on the second or the third hut, and Berwick, trying to time that snap, missed terribly.
Man in motion to the right, rolling right. Stahoviak fires a pass, diving attempt, and a catch at the 48-yard line of Berwick, short of the sticks. Now, Nanticoke went 4th and long from punt formation. We'll see how they play it here.
And Tyler Skordansky sneaking out of the backfield on a quick out. Quarterback rolling with a quick play action to get away from these inside blitzes. Hits him, but he's immediately tackled.
4th down coming from the Berwick 48-yard line. Trojans need 5. They have the punter back there, and this time they're going to punt it away. It's fielded by Ty Wilkerson, and he is brought down. Great coverage by the Trojans down at the Berwick 18-yard line.
Yes, it was. Number 8 coming on down there. That's James Bush, who made the tackle. The punt is sort of a rugby style, one step and then sideways kick it, but he really got carry on it to where it was going over the punt returner Ty Wilkerson's head. He had to take a step back, reach up over his head to secure the ball. Rather dangerous, and as you mentioned, James Bush and another Trojan down there very quickly to cover.
Berwick's second possession. First was just one play. Ty Wilkerson out of the Wildcat, a 37-yard touchdown run. He is in that position again. 7:55 to go in the quarter. 7-0 Berwick. Wilkerson takes the snap, tries the right side, bounces it outside, turns the corner, and is forced out of bounds about the 25-yard line. That time the Trojans played it much better.
Played it better, Jim, but it's still a great first down carry of 5 or 6 yards for Ty Wilkerson. He's working the corner. This time there are tacklers coming, but he speeds to the outside again, and before the corner can come up and eventually push him out of bounds, he has a 6-yard gain.
Second down call coming. The ball at the 25-yard line. Bulldogs need 5 for the first down. Wilkerson again takes the direct snap. Goes off the left side. He's at the 35. He's at the 40 and forced out of bounds across the way. Well, that speed can go left or right.
It sure can. And while they're working to get there, Berwick had an overload of blockers on the left, almost like a banana bunch of receivers put up tight to the line of scrimmage. So it's a tough imbalance that Nanticoke has to try to adjust to. I think before they can make an adjustment, Ty Wilkerson has the ball and he's sweeping in that direction.
20 yards on the carry by Wilkerson. He gets a breather now from the 45-yard line. Billy Hansen in there, gives off to Galusha. Lots of running room down the far sideline, 35-30, and down at the 27-yard line. Welcome back, Gavin Galusha. Missed the last couple of games with a concussion. Gets his first carry tonight for a big game.
Yes, it was. Came up the middle, a gap on the left side, just off the left tip of the center is where that gap is, and before you know it, he's past the linebacker level. Great blocking up front, then he takes it off toward the sideline on the left, uses his speed to maximize the run.
27 yards for Gavin Galusha. He's the lone running back. Hansen under center. Man in motion left to right. Galusha gets the call. He slipped up and is brought down right about the line of scrimmage.
Tripped by one of his linemen, Jim. I think Gavin Jones might have followed his man backing through the A-gap to push him to the side. Galusha got the ball, seemed to have a nice hole at the line of scrimmage, but before he can get to the line of scrimmage, he trips over his center's leg.
Loss of a yard, back to the 29. Second down and 11. Berwick moving from our left to our right at the Nanticoke 29-yard line. Hansen under center. Toss sweep right side to Galusha. Galusha and it bounces away to pick up a couple to the 27, maybe the 26-yard line.
Treston Allen, extremely strong running back on this team, playing two ways, comes up and makes that hit. Just about a yard gain for Galusha.
We'll call 3rd and 9 as Ty Wilkerson checks back in. We'll see if they have him in that Wildcat spot. He is. He'll take the direct snap. From the 27-yard line, he takes off to the left. Turns the corner at the 25. Net there. Second effort will get him a couple. Flag down on the play.
Referee well behind threw it, but not until the tackle was being made.
Harry Caskey is that referee. The umpire is John Basic. Galen Miller is the linesman. Chris Basic is the line judge. Marino Valentini is the field judge. The side judge is Anthony Mancini.
It'll be a hold against Berwick. That'll set them back 3rd and significant, about 18. I thought there was a great block by Decker, tight end on the outside, brought his man down in a pancake fashion. Then the flag came out about 3-4 steps past that. I wouldn't have thrown the flag there, but maybe he saw something else behind the play.
So it's going to be 3rd and 20 for Berwick, back at the Nanticoke 38-yard line.
Would be a passing down for most teams, but with Ty Wilkerson in there, I don't know.
Hansen will be taking the direct snap. Wilkerson to his right. There's a slot to the right. Back to throw is Billy Hansen. He's going to run with it, and he's brought down from behind at about the 34-yard line. He'll pick up about 4 in the play. 4th and long for Berwick. They mark it at the 35. It'll be 4th and 17.
Owen Anderson came up to make the hit, and it's good that he did for the Trojans, or Billy Hansen would have had more. Normally with 4th and 17, you'd punt it, but the field position, it's on the 35-yard line of Nanticoke. You may as well go for a punt. You're not going to change field position all that much. You may as well take the opportunity for the try to get the line to gain.
Hansen went to the sideline to get the play call from head coach C.J. Curry. There's a running back to either side of Hansen on this 4th and 17. Hansen back to throw. Big pass rush. Gets away from it. He's got some running room at the 35 and down to 33. Good job. Good pursuit by the Trojans. They'll take over the football.
Dennis Hall makes the tackle, but the man who made the play was Treston Allen, blitzing. He had penetration that forced Hansen out of the pocket to roll and then run to his left, and Nanticoke's able to catch him comfortably short of the shades.
Just a yard gain on the play as the Trojans take over at their 34-yard line with a 1st and 10. 4:46 to go in the opening quarter. Berwick leads by a score of 7-0.
Looked like it was going to be very easy, and Berwick's defense is staying stout, but Nanticoke came up with a good defensive stop here, and things are evening out a little bit.
Trojans have a slot to the left side. No, it's 3 receivers to the left side, and then they burn a timeout. 4:46 to go in the first. Berwick 7-0. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Planning your next big event? Weddings, concerts, church festivals, even construction sites. Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. No power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. They even provide sanitary service to campgrounds, parks, parties, and have 24-hour emergency service. Contact Preferred Portables to learn about event and contractor pricing. Check out their website, preferredportables.com. We're number 1 when you have to go number 2.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
4:46 to go in the opening quarter. Berwick 7, Nanticoke nothing. Trojans following their timeout have it at their own 34-yard line with a 1st down. 37-yard run by Ty Wilkerson out of the Wildcat. The difference in this one. Trojans only positive yardage. There's that 9-yard run out of the fake punt. They need a lot more than that. And now, out of the shotgun, Berwick showing blitz. Quarterback's going to keep it. There's nowhere to go, and he's brought down after a yard gain to the 35.
And nowhere to go. It was a Wildcat quarterback. I believe it was number 8 in there instead of number 9.
James Bush.
James Bush.
James Bush took that snap.
Second down and 9. Nanticoke at their 35-yard line. As the direct snap this time goes to Treston Allen. So they're working the Wildcat with different personnel, and Allen tries the right side and gets a yard or two. Third down coming.
And Berwick still has its people near the line of scrimmage. Standard 5-3 defense, but the 3 linebackers are up tight, and the corners are playing up, not really anticipating pass. They're thinking run. I think they're playing it aggressively where they're shooting through gaps, whether it's linemen at the snap of the ball or linebackers on a designated blitz or a delayed blitz, but they're just not leaving any seams.
Here's the third down and 7. Stahoviak back under center. Back to the wing T. Gives the ball off the right side. Gabe Decker is all over the ball carrier for a loss in the play. Decker holds his ground from a defensive end position.
Tristan Allen was the man in the Wildcat that time, and he'll lose a yard. Gabe Decker really did play contained, would not let it wide, and by the time he tries to turn it into the tight C gap, Decker's able to wrap him up there as well.
Chris Julian, who faked the punt earlier, is back to do the punting. Ty Wilkerson back in single safety for the Bulldogs. Julian back at the 24-yard line. Good snap. Rugby-style kick gets it away from Wilkerson, who takes it on a high hop and is brought down at the 35-yard line. So nicely done by Chris Julian on the punt, and good coverage downfield by the Trojans. 2:41 remaining. Berwick. Nanticoke's front 5, Manny Sosa, Jason Oborski, Al Sharif Millerons, Serafino Raji, and Camden Rinker. The 3 linebackers, Chet Beggs, Reagan Jackson, and Tyler Skordensky. The corners are Dennis Hall and James Bush, and the safety is Michael Stahoviak. Berwick moving from our left to our right with a 1st and 10.
In motion, but one other man was sort of shifting and never quite set himself. I'd anticipate 5 against Berwick, and that's the case. The gain itself was very, very minimal. So
tries to sweep the right side, has some running room, breaks free at the 40.
3 yards on the game for Ty Wilkerson already, and we're in the first quarter, his 2nd touchdown. Again, we're seeing an overload of players on the right, like a banana bunch of receivers, but up tight like wingbacks. It creates an unbalanced line. They pitch him the ball. He runs in that direction. He can pick where he finds the seam. He got a little seam at about 4 or 5 yards, and one man came up to make a play, and he stiff-armed him at that point, just shoved him away, and then it was off to the races.
Aiden George will do the long snapping. Ashton Smith the hold. Caleb Yost with the kick, and it is through. Timeout in the field. 2:25 to go opening quarter. Berwick 14. Nanticoke nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Visit your Bloomsburg State Farm agent, Sean Black, at insurebloomsburg.com.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
The The Ty Wilkerson Show here in the first quarter of Crispin Field. 37-yard touchdown run, 70-yard touchdown run, both off the right side, both out of the Wildcat. 2 Caleb Yost extra points, and it's a 14-0 Berwick lead. 2:25 to go in the opening quarter.
He's a running back that seems to have it all, Jim. He's built in a way where he has the musculature to be a power back. And there he showed it where 5-6 yards in, a linebacker comes angling in, and he just stiff arms him and shocks the man away from his feet, gives himself a little push, and then the speed, of course, is just so exhilarating. A tremendous running back.
Caleb Yost has been kicking it very, very short with the pooch-style kick. And that's the case there as Dennis Hall fields at the 30 and is forced out of bounds. Right about there. So Nanticoke will get it. Trailing now in the game by a score of 14-0.
Yeah, that one wasn't as near the sideline, closer to the numbers, and Hall was able to go in. Looking at a high point, got it near his eye line, then tried to return, but Berwick has its people angling for that ball, knowing where the kick is being aimed, and there's just nowhere for him to run.
Caleb May has been out for a couple of weeks now with an injury. They expect him back next week for the game at Williamsport. Bulldogs with back-to-back toughies on the road, Williamsport and then Selinsgrove. So they'll be glad to have Caleb May back in that secondary. 1st and 10. Nanticoke at their own 33-yard line. Pitch to Treston Hall. Tries to get outside right. Rocco Romeo makes him come back in and gets help from a couple of Bulldogs after a gain of just about a yard on the play.
Yeah, J.J. Leonard eventually among the people finishing him off. He'll gain the yard, but Rocco Romeo, the outside linebacker, he was the man designated to have contain of any sweeping action. As you mentioned, he got the penetration, turned the play back into his own tacklers, and Berwick will happily allow 1 yard there.
Gavin Jones is the middle linebacker right now for the Bulldogs. Everett Snyder, Rocco Romeo on either side of him. 2nd down and 8. Trojans from their 35-yard line. Backs in an open set behind Michael Stahoviak. Pitches the ball to Allen. Tries the right side. Gang tackled. Maybe a yard to the 36. 3rd down coming.
Berwick feeling they wrestled the ball away and that they recovered it, but they did not. Be a short gain on that.
They mark it at the 37. Berwick coming off like they have the football. The officials have not indicated yet. They're still talking about it. Berwick's entire team came off celebrating, and the officials have not made a ruling.
Referee seems to be talking to the umpire. What did you see here? As I saw, Berwick was celebrating as they were unpiling. Right at the point of the tackle, they thought they ripped it away. Now, sometimes the ball carrier has a knee down, and he is down. They're going to call it a play from scrimmage.
Give Allen 2 yards on the carry and bring up a 3rd down and 6 for Nanticoke. Under a minute remaining in this opening quarter. A whistle. Referee looks up at the scoreboard clock.
35 seconds, counting. I wonder if they kept the clock going when they were in debate. Harry Caskey making a decision.
Scoreboard clock says 32 seconds remaining in this quarter.
And they're not looking up to the scoreboard. Have no idea who they're talking to or why there's a delay. No players are injured. They want the play clock reset.
And that's down to 19. I guess we're set to go. Berwick showing blitz. Nanticoke tries to beat it with a run up the middle and just a yard short of the 1st down. They had the right play call there as they went to a draw play as Berwick coming on the blitz.
Wilkerson coming up strong from the secondary. Hits him about a yard shy of that. This is a team that punted when they had, or fake punted when they had long distance to go. I think on 4th and short one, you'll see a play from scrimmage.
Skidensky, the fullback on that last carry. 4th down and 1 for the Trojans. They may let this clock wind down and take that in between quarters to talk about this 4th and 1 play. It's down to 8 and 7 as they come to the line of scrimmage. And 5 and 4. Barking signals, and that will do it. The end of the first quarter play with the score. Berwick 14. Nanticoke nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 35 years experience. And new Bulldog wear for every age, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, polos, hats, and more. They even make online fundraising easy for you. Stop in today to discuss your next fundraising opportunity. You can also shop at masonsmonogramming.com for their new inventory and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogramming for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram Service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
Hey, hometown fans. You know Journey Bank as your trusted local bank. But did you know we're also the biggest cheerleader for our community's youth? From athletes competing under the Friday night lights, to students excelling in the classroom, to talented teen stars singing center stage, we're investing in the future of our young people. At Journey Bank, we're committed to helping our kids score big in every aspect of life. Journey Bank, where dreams are nurtured and futures are built. Journey Bank, proud supporter of our local youth.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
1 quarter in the books here at Crispin Field. Berwick 14 and Nanticoke nothing. We start the second quarter. The Trojans have had a lot of time in between the quarters to think about this 4th and 1. They have it at their own 42-yard line. They come to the line of scrimmage. Looks like Skadensky, the fullback, is ready to take a direct snap. The slot to the right side. Allen is the running back to his left. Here's a 4th down and 1. Berwick showing blitz. The snap goes to Allen, and Allen tries the right side and does not get there. So they snapped it to the player to the left of the Wildcat man, and it did work. Berwick's all over the play, and they'll take over the football.
First down for the Bulldogs.
Injured player on the field. We saw a lot of that with Crestwood, not out of the Wildcat, but out of that single wing that they run, where the snap goes to someone other than the player lined up as the quarterback. But Berwick was all over the play. Just a gain of a yard, and so the Bulldogs, following an injury timeout, one of the Trojans down, will take over 1st and 10 at the Nanticoke 41.
Dennis Hall is the player. He was at the point of attack. Things got crumbled up over him. They're working on him.
So they had a lot of time to think about that play. They decided not to go with the quarterback taking the snap, and they decided not to go with the Wildcat person taking the snap, but the snap went to the running back next to him, and fortunately for the Bulldogs, they were all over the play, and they'll take over following this timeout.
And, you know, without the heights and weights on the roster, Jim, it's hard for us to even estimate where the point of attack would be. I can understand the fullback is probably your biggest back in the backfield. He'd have the most power. And Nanticoke would know among their linemen where they feel they have the best match with size and go and get Berwick. So they used the timeout. They said, here's what we're going to do. But Berwick rallied to the football, got there to the line of scrimmage, just prevented any type of forward progress from helping. They have the player Hall sitting up, but I think they're working on a lower extremity, and they're going to take their time with him.
Berwick has one more home game after this one. They're on the road next week at Williamsport, following week at Selinsgrove, 2 very challenging games against good football teams. And then they'll close out their home season here against Tunkhannock. Bulldogs are going to be in the postseason, but they will not get a home game in that postseason. The rankings in District 2 AAA this week had Berwick in 7th, which if the season ended tonight, they would play at Scranton Prep, the number 2 team, in the opening round of those playoffs. Well, Hall is on his feet, but not putting a lot of weight on that left leg. Boy, Andy and I looked at the Williamsport roster, which we got for next week. 73 players on that roster. Now, it is a big school, but the fact is, you just don't see rosters that big in high school football anymore.
No, you don't. So it shows the popularity of playing football in Williamsport. Once again, a rejuvenation. They've been playing solid football. They'll be tested tonight with Shamokin, Jim. If they can keep that close or eke out a win, they're going to be a real challenge.
Berwick with the football. Just underway here in the second quarter. They lead 14-0. They have it at the Nanticoke 41-yard line. Bulldogs move from our left to our right.
Always a two-way player playing at cornerback.
Wilkerson is the tailback in the I. Hanson under center. George is the fullback. Toss sweep right side. Ty Wilkerson is stood up, and he gets maybe a yard to the 40-yard line. Good defense by the Trojans.
Yeah, they really did gang tackle there. He was aiming for the C-gap off the right side between the right tackle and the tight end. And boy, the defensive tackle, defensive end, outside linebacker, corner, all came hard anticipating Wilkerson with the carry, and they stopped him right there at the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 9, Berwick at the Nanticoke 40. Again, the I formation. Aiden George is the fullback ahead of Ty Wilkerson. Hanson under center. Gives to Wilkerson again off the left side. Looks for some running room. Cuts it outside to the 35, to the 30. Beautiful move there. Gets down near the 20-yard line.
Beautiful is right, Jim. Going through the line of scrimmage, he was going to be stopped. He was going from right setback toward the left. And he stopped about 5 yards into the run. There was nowhere to go, and he did a jump step to the left, eluded a tackler, and then found himself coming down the sideline on the left. And then, as you mentioned, deked one more man before finishing the run.
19 yards on the carry by Ty Wilkerson. Berwick, 1st and 10 at the 21. Galusha's the tailback. He gets the call. Gavin Galusha off the right side gets down to about the 16-yard line of the Trojans.
Nice run. Relying on the offensive line to block with their power and his power as a runner. He'll get halfway to the chains with a 5-yard gain.
Ball at the Nanticoke 16-yard line. Berwick trying to add to their 14-0 lead early here in the second quarter. Again, it's Galusha, the tailback in the I. Aiden George ahead of him. And movement on the offensive front for Berwick.
Yeah, the defensive lineman shifted. He shifted over one hole. And by doing that, an offensive lineman then broke his stance. That'll move Berwick back 5.
The second down coming from the 21-yard line. 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs. As center Gavin Jones over the football at the 21. Fake to Galusha. Keeping it is Hanson. He's brought down for a loss in the play. Chris Julian makes the stop as they'll lose yardage and bring up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, real nice read by Chris Julian. Keeping his eye on the quarterback, not deceived by the fake to the running back. They realized that Billy Hanson is a threat as a runner. But before Hanson can get any juice going or any type of cutback, Julian's able to put the end to that run.
Loss of a yard in the play. 3rd down and 11. Berwick from the Nanticoke 22. Again, Galusha the tailback. I formation, double tight end alignment. Hanson play action, back to throw. Gets the pass away, has his man Everett, and Everett close to the 1st down yardage. Ball pops out. I think they're going to rule him down.
Actually, I think it was 98 and George on that catch, Jim, and real nice action. Quarterback rolling to his right, looked very, very comfortable. Spit pass to the fullback who came out of the backfield, turned it into an out. Going to be a yard or so short of the chains, but a real nice design to the play.
4th and 1. 10 yards on the reception to Aiden George, his first of the season.
3rd and 1.
4th down play. George is the fullback ahead of Gavin Galusha in the I. Hanson under center. Gives to Galusha, looking for the 1st down yardage, has it, and then some, spins away, still on his feet inside the 10 down to about the 8. 1st and goal, Berwick.
Jason Oborski eventually catching him, holding on and not letting him get more. Are we going to have a holding call on this?
We are, against Berwick. And
negates a beautiful block. Aiden George was leading the way in the I formation isolation play in the A gap to the left. He met the linebacker, stood him up, and really did open the seam. That was not the hold, but a hold away from that will prevent the first down. Berwick will still go for it because of field position.
So they'll put it at the 21-yard line, and it'll be 4th down and about 11. Bulldogs hurting themselves with penalties here in the first half.
Yeah, options are to let the quarterback run, let the quarterback pass, or I'd keep an eye on Ty Wilkerson, left setback.
Hansen out of the gun. They're showing blitz, and they're coming hard. Hansen back to throw. He's looking long to the end zone, and incomplete. Incomplete, intended for Julian Howie. Pretty good throw by Billy Hansen.
Yeah, and under pressure. The pressure was coming from the defensive ends, coming deep, and then trying to spin inside. I thought one almost hit his passing arm as the arm came forward, but it didn't. Ball was deep in the end zone. I'm watching the one receiver near the ball about 5 yards away, but there's Julian Howie near the end line making an attempt at it.
There's an injured player on the field for Nanticoke. The clock is stopped with 8 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in this opening half. And Berwick leading Nanticoke by a score of 14-0.
Player might have gotten the wind knocked out of him, Jim. I'm watching his arms going back up over his head as the trainers do tend to him. Trying to see the number on the jersey, but it's just too indistinct and I don't want to take a guess.
Hansen showed some moxie there.
Oh, he did.
Stood in against some pressure, and the pass probably should have been caught.
Challenging catch. He'd be catching it in the darker side of the end of that end zone, and he'd be catching it pretty much over his shoulder. I think he had a tough time locating the ball, but it really was a nicely thrown ball while under duress, and he found the receiver. It is number
player,
4.
Chris
number
Julian
4. Yeah.
Is the injured player. He's on his feet and walking to the sideline. We would expect to see him. So the Trojans will take over at their 21-yard line with a 1st and 10, trailing 14-0.
Really haven't been able to get anything going offensively. One completed pass, a 4-yarder, and 2 attempts to their fullback. Treston Allen, their key running back, main yard carrier on the game, is at 0 after about 8 carries. Just not much happening for their offense.
Trojans move from our left to our right here in the second quarter, which has 8:48 remaining. They get a player on very, very late as they come to the line of scrimmage.
We'll watch Harry Caskey count them to make sure it's not a 12th.
Stahoviak gives the ball to Allen, tries the left side. He'll lose yardage back to the 16-yard line. That's a good defensive work by J.J. Leonard.
And Skylar Neville on the outside. They wanted to sweep it. J.J. Leonard at the D tackle on the left. Skylar Neville at D end. They crunched in, allowed no room in the C gap, and they knocked him for a loss.
2nd and 15, a loss of 5 back to the 16-yard line. Wing to the right, backs in an open set behind Stahoviak in this wing T offense. Berwick showing blitz again. Stahoviak rolls left, and he will not get it off as he's brought down to 10. Flag flies after the play. We may have a roughing on Nanticoke.
Everett Snyder came real hard from his linebacker spot, got past the blockers and really just enveloped the quarterback. Others joined on in. One man actually jumping toward the pile, and it did look a little flagrant. Let's see.
Personal foul against the Trojans. Treston Allen body slammed a Bulldog defender. And we'll go back to the 6-yard line. Bring up 2nd down.
Third. They're going
3rd and 25. Yeah, it was after the play.
After the play, so the sack will lose, what, about 8?
After the play brings up a 3rd and 25.
3rd down and 25 for the Trojans. Harry Caskey walked in, counted players, and now he says we are ready to go. Berwick showing blitz again. toss sweep to Allen. Has a little bit of running room. Nice job by him. Gets out to the 15-yard line. Well short of the first down, but one of the few positives for the Nanticoke offense in this opening half. They'll mark it down at the 16, so give them 10 on the play. Fourth down, punt team on.
Everett Snyder's playing the left outside linebacker, and he played it at his position, but a nice cut by Allen inside allowed him to sort of knife and then fall forward to get the yardage.
Chris Julian will be back to do the punting. He's standing back at his 2-yard line. Julian Howie back in single safety for the Bulldogs. Snap is there, kick is away. Low line drive kick, takes a high bounce. Julian Howie muffed it momentarily and then is buried at the 45-yard line in Nanticoke territory.
James Bush back in the game, coming on down and making that tackle as Howie tries to take it on the bounce and escape with it, but Bush not allowing that.
So the Bulldogs, in their last possession, took over at the Nanticoke 41, weren't able to get on the board. Now they have it at the Trojan 45 with 7:03 to go in this first half. And Berwick trying to add to a 14-0 lead.
Number 575-2135. Red ticket.
See Roy Dennis, whose late father was honored before this game, is spending the game on the Berwick sideline where he used to be an assistant coach.
Used to be a star player as well, Jim.
Yes.
Yep.
Played here and then played for Danny Hale at Bloomsburg. Ty Wilkerson is the lone running back. Hanson under center. Gives to Ty, tries to get outside right. Hit behind the line, second effort, gets him maybe a yard.
Yeah, nice penetration that time, Jim. Tristan Allen coming across in the backfield kind of trips him up. But he was being penned in on the left and on the right by Nanticoke defenders who bring him down at the line of scrimmage.
They give him a yard to the 44. Second down and 9 for Berwick. Stay with us at halftime. Ben Willis bring us updated on the high school football scoreboard as we kick off weekend number 7 of the 10-week regular season. Here's a 2nd and 9, Berwick at the Nanticoke 44. Back to throw is Hanson. Looks as a man wide open. It's Skylar Neville at the 10, the 5, and he's in for a touchdown. Good play action by Billy Hanson. There is a flag down behind the line of scrimmage.
Here where the pass was thrown, Berwick looks to be coming back, Jim, so I'd anticipate a hold. Boy, but the Skylar Neville, he ran at his man and then zigged in and then zigged back out, and the corner just didn't stay. Berwick hasn't passed that much, so he wasn't sold it was going to be a pass. Neville showed great speed. He was all by himself about 10, 15 yards past the coverage. Hanson airs it out nicely. You don't want to overthrow that. You want to make it a comfortable catch for your man. But the penalty against Berwick will bring it back.
Billy Hanson must be wondering, what do I have to do to get a touchdown pass? He threw one in the end zone that should have been caught. Then he throws one that is caught, and it comes back with the holding call.
And holding from behind the line of scrimmage is going to be a long mark off. It's going to be 15 yards plus the 10 they need, so 2nd and 25 coming up.
Bulldogs back at their 41-yard line. Ty Wilkerson is the lone running back. Man in motion to the left to lead the blocking as the toss sweep comes to Ty. He turns the corner at the 45 to midfield to the 45 to the 40 and very, very close to the first down yardage to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, give him 24 yards to add to his already strong total of 154. So 178 here in the first half. Beautiful run. He used his speed to get the corner. There's nice blocking as Berwick does man over stuff and unbalanced line to get the numbers out here on the left. And then toward the end, he does a little juke step to cut inside and spends the potential tackler sprawling.
And they are saying it's a first down at the 35-yard line. So you have 2nd and 25.
Just pitch it.
Give it to Ty Wilkerson.
Yeah.
Now Galusha is the running back from the 35. Gavin Galusha tries to get outside right. The Trojans are there, so he cuts it to the left, makes a nice move, and gets inside the 30, down to the 27.
He really did put on a nice move. Lineman running back was able to eventually bring him down. But it looked like he was going to try to sweep, saw he couldn't do it, put on the brakes and broke it inside.
7 yards for Gavin Galusha. Boy, Berwick very, very happy to have the sophomore back in there after missing a couple of games with a concussion. Was their leading rusher when he went out with a concussion. Ty Wilkerson has since taken over, but still, Galusha with some impressive numbers, 232 coming into this game.
Another Trojan down, Jim, opposite the play. I don't know if he twisted an ankle or got caught up in a backside block.
Give me time to remind you that the Berwick Football Champions Club is selling tickets for your chance to win a rare piece of art depicting legendary coach George Curry by Topps card artist Vincent Wood. Chances are $5 each and can be purchased at the Bulldogs apparel tent opposite the home field house here at Crispin Field. Tickets can also be bought with cash in downtown Berwick at Georgie's Bagels and Mason's Monogramming. And we'll all go on through October 25th when Berwick plays Titanic at home in the final game of the regular season. 5 winners will be drawn. 5:05 remaining in this first half. 14-0. Berwick leading Nanticoke area. Trojans have had a number of injuries in this opening half. The latest is to Serafino Raji, number 23, who now is up and jogging to the sideline.
Berwick huddling on the sideline with Coach C.J. Curry. He calls the plays. He'll send the team right to the line of scrimmage, where Nanticoke is lining up over the football now.
2nd and 3 after the 7-yard run by Gavin Galusha. Bulldogs moving from our right to our left in this quarter. Have it at the Trojans' 28-yard line.
Both Aiden George and Everett Snyder in there as H-backs in a blocking position opposite each other.
Wing to either side. Galusha, the lone running back behind quarterback Billy Hansen.
Tight end on each side as well. Skylar Neville opposite of Gabe Decker.
Slow developing. Harry Caskey wants something changed now. They have it set on the play clock. 2nd down call from the 28. Hansen back to throw, looking long, has a man wide open for a touchdown. That one will count to Skylar Neville.
As we mentioned, he was a wing on the left, not really a passing formation, but a running formation. But as you get Nanticoke thinking run, Skylar Neville has that speed to break downfield, a little head fake to the inside, then back out to the flag on the left side. No defender within 10 yards of him. Billy Hansen delivers the ball perfectly. It's caught, and this time, no flag.
Now the extra point attempt coming from Caleb Yost. So 26 yards on the touchdown pass. Snap, placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Caleb Yost, perfect. In extra points tonight, 4:59 to go in the half. 21-0 Bulldogs. You're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
Are you in the market for a new set of wheels? Once you find it, whether it's a functional grocery getter or a midlife crisis hot rod, the tag and title experts at Berwick Notary in Berwick are open 6 days a week, so you can be rest assured you'll be on the road and legal in no time. Berwick Notary can transfer a title, register an ATV or any kind of vehicle, and they're the only notary in Columbia County that registers boats. Berwick Notary's been serving the Bulldog community for over 40 years, and they proudly support the Berwick Bulldogs. Check out their Facebook page, and go Dogs!
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Billy Hansen has the first touchdown pass of his career. Skylar Neville has the first touchdown reception of his career. They combine for a 28-yarder with 4:59 to go in the half, extending Berwick's lead over Nanticoke to 21-0. Andy, Billy looking much more comfortable at that quarterback spot. I think his play action is very good, and his throwing has been good.
Well, you know, they've had 3-4 weeks to work on him as a quarterback, Jim, and C.J. Curry and Dave Robbins, excellent quarterbacks at the collegiate level, are certainly going to be coaching that. He looked very raw in his first week at quarterback. He looked like he was shot putting the football. Now he looks like a quarterback throwing the ball.
Kickoff coming from Logan Robinson. It goes downfield for the first time. The ball is loose. Berwick may have it at the 25-yard line, and they do.
Hustling to the football, Jim. They've been working some of these side kicks toward the sideline, hoping they can create a mistake. This time they do capitalize on it.
Nice night for Skylar Neville. He just caught a touchdown pass. Now he just recovers that muffed kickoff, and Berwick has it at the Nanticoke 25-yard line.
Jim, I got caught trying to catch up on my stats. How long was the Skylar Neville touchdown?
28 yards.
28, yeah. Looking at him on my stat sheet, and I'm not finding him among my receivers.
Julian Howie is wide to the left side. Galusha is the tailback in the eye. Hansen under center. Back to throw. Looking long, has Julian Howie. Goes up and makes the catch for the touchdown. Terrific catch by Howie. He didn't make the play on a ball that looked much easier than that one. He went up high and got it. That's a nice catch by Howie.
It seems they like this deep flag in the end zone on the near side of Berwick sideline. Again, a similar type of route. He ends up at the flag in the back of the end zone. There's not bad coverage. James Bush is near him, but the ball's put to the sideline side. He goes up high and he makes the catch.
So a lot of firsts in this first half as Caleb Yost will kick it up and through. Timeout in the field. 4:48 to go before halftime. Berwick 28, Nanticoke nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Family tradition is the foundation of Nespoli Jewelers, a family tradition started by Joseph Nespoli and continued by his grandson Jonathan. For 3 generations, Nespoli Jewelers have prided themselves on mixing fine with fashion. Jonathan can customize your engagement ring and wedding bands, design a unique piece of jewelry inspired by you, or simply help you find an affordable gift. Service, quality, creativity. Nespoli Jewelers. Yesterday's principles, today's creations. East Front Street in Berwick and online at nespolijewelers.com.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
4:48 to go to the half. Berwick 28, Nanticoke nothing. Right before we took that break, I mentioned it's a first half of firsts for the Bulldogs. Billy Hansen's first touchdown pass of his career. Skylar Neville's first touchdown reception of his career. And moments ago, Julian Howie with his first touchdown reception for his career. 28-0 Bulldogs as Logan Robinson will kick off for the second time. Line drive kick headed toward the out of bounds, and it goes out of bounds. So Nanticoke will have good field position to start this possession.
Good field position, yeah, at the 35, Jim.
Getting back to Billy Hansen and how well he's looked at the quarterback controls. You know, you have games coming up against very good football teams in Williamsport and Selinsgrove. Berwick is a running team, but certainly you'll need more than that to stay in those games offensively.
Yes, you will. And here in this game, he's 3 of 4 passing for 63 yards. And don't forget they wiped away about a 30-yard touchdown pass of his.
Nanticoke 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Trojans move from our left to our right with 4:48 to go in this half. A wing to either side. A lot of movement on the Berwick defensive front. Toss sweep left side to Tristan Allen. Allen with a head of steam. Nice run by him. Out close to the first down yardage. Nanticoke finally gets something going offensively. And Tristan Allen, their leading rusher.
Defensive end on the right side for Berwick. Over pursued, Jim. You got 2 deep, and that opened up the C gap that he needs to close down. Outside linebacker must have been blocked because he wasn't there either. And Allen takes advantage of that gaping hole to approach the chains.
9 yards on the carry by Tristan Allen, senior. Their leading rusher on the season. Had a 45-yard touchdown run against Lake Lehman last week. He is the back directly behind Quarterback, toss sweep to Allen left side. He won't get there. Gabe Decker stands his ground and will not be moved.
Nope, this time he's there. No gaping hole in the C gap. It's shut down, and he keeps his outside arm free to grab the runner who tries to sweep around him. They'll lose just about a little bit, a few inches on that play as Gabe Decker redeems himself.
3rd down and 2. Nanticoke at their own 43. Jason Oborski on a wing to the right side. Now a little bit of confusion. Skidensky lines up on a wing to the left. Allen is the lone running back. Stachowiak back to throw. Looking, rolls right, dumps a pass to Oborski and gets the first down. Good job by Stachowiak, the quarterback. Lobbed it to Oborski, who was hit hard as he got to the Berwick 48-yard line.
He just kept looking like someone's going to sack him, like they're going to have more speed. But the quarterback kept rolling to the right, kept rolling, approached the line of scrimmage, and then popped it out there. We have a stoppage.
Oborski has not gotten up after that hit on the sideline. Clock stops with 3:08 remaining in this first half, as they picked up 9 on that pass play. Michael Stachowiak to Jason Oborski. As they look at Oborski on near the Berwick sideline.
A lot of injured Trojans over the course of this game, Jim. I don't remember any of the Berwick players being down.
Ron Bruza, the interim head coach, coming over to take a look at his man. Ron, the head coach at Nanticoke for 14 seasons. The last 2 of his seasons, he had Scott Dennis on his staff. 1 year as an offensive coordinator, the other as defensive coordinator. Scott was set to take over as the head coach of his alma mater. Then his untimely death just 3 days before the regular season began. And Ron Bruza, who was ready to step away from the program, moved in on an interim basis for this season.
Yeah, big of him to be able to do that, Jim. You know, you get into retirement, you look forward to retirement. But when you have such circumstances, you have the fellow who has the knowledge of the team, of the players, of the system, of what Scott Dennis would have wanted to do. Very, very big of him to come in and help Nanticoke in their time of need.
Chris Oborski walking off under his own power. Nanticoke, first down at the Berwick 49-yard line. 3:08 remaining in this opening half, and Berwick with a 28-0 lead.
I'll still walk him off as he's just getting to the sidelines now, and there's the whistle that we can regain play.
Chris Julian is on a wing to the left. It's the wing to the right as well. Treston Allen is the running back directly behind Stachowiak. Toss sweep to Allen, trying the left side. Berwick's all over it. He will lose yardage back into Nanticoke territory at the 49.
Everett Snyder is in there. J.J. Leonard coming up as part of the tackle. The defensive end not letting them get wide. They'll lose a yard.
Yeah, loss of 2 to 49. Second down and 12. Clock running, 2:29 remaining in this half. James Bush, who was injured earlier in that offensive alignment for Nanticoke, he will split wide to the right side. And Stachowiak talks things over with Treston Allen before he gets under center. Backs in an open set behind Stachowiak. Berwick coming on a blitz. Stachowiak rolls right, gets the pass away, diving attempt, and the catch made at the Berwick 49-yard line. It's Chris Julian who makes the grab.
But for only a yard or two, Jim, just not much in there. He was really being pressured in the backfield as he rolled to the right. I didn't quite catch the number. I think it was Skylar Neville, again, chasing from the defensive end on the far side. Throws under duress, finds his receiver, Chris Julian, but minimal gain.
Third down and 10. Nanticoke at the Berwick 49-yard line. Clock running 1:25 remaining in this half. Trojans break the huddle. Chris Julian will line up on a wing to the left. In motion, Skidensky, flags and whistles.
Somebody moved. Tell us who, Harry Haskey, or timeout by the Trojans.
1:09 to go, first half, 28-0 Berwick. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 35 years experience. And new Bulldog wear for every age, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, polos, hats, and more. They even make online fundraising easy for you. Stop in today to discuss your next fundraising opportunity. You can also shop at masonsmonogramming.com for their new inventory and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogramming for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram Service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
This is Berwick football coach CJ Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
1:09 remaining in the first half here at Crispin Field. Berwick leading Nanticoke by a score of 28-0. Trojans have one timeout left. They just called one to talk about this 3rd down and 10 play at the Berwick 49-yard line. Not much going for them offensively in this one. It's the Bulldogs expecting a heavy dose of Treston Allen, have kept him in check.
That situation here, though, I have Stahoviak 3 of 4 passing, but the longest being that 9-yarder to Oberski that we just saw.
Allen is the running back behind Stahoviak. A wing to either side. Here's the 3rd down call. Berwick showing blitz. Toss, sweep left side to Allen. He wants to throw the football. Throws it downfield, incomplete. That's a tough throw for him. Sweeping to his left and trying to square the shoulders and throw it right. Berwick with pretty good coverage downfield. Here's 4th and 10.
Yeah, it was Braden Schaefer on the coverage. The ball was going to be out of bounds because he couldn't really put it on the money. And even if he put it on the money, I think Braden Schaefer may have been in position to intercept it. He was not fooled on that halfback option pass.
1:02 remaining in the half. 4th and 10. Nanticoke at the Berwick 49. They faked a punt under much more dire circumstances than this one, so we'll see how they play it.
Wouldn't be the worst idea. You're just one step past midfield. Did even have a punter in. There's no punter in. Timeout.
And that will be the last timeout used by the Trojans. We'll keep it here with 1:02 remaining. I want to remind you, the Bulldogs on the road for the next 2 weeks. Next week at STA Stadium in Williamsport. They go against the Millionaires of Williamsport, and the following week against Selinsgrove. Selinsgrove with a brand new head coach, Matt Wenrick, who we followed at Bloomsburg University.
Yep.
He's a strong fullback, and he was a terrific fullback and linebacker for Selinsgrove on the team that won the state championship for the Seals.
I've often found that head coaches often parallel their own careers. If you're a fullback and a big blocking fullback, you tend to go with a blocking fullback as your offensive system. Again, if you key areas like linebackers, well, Selinsgrove's played that 3-5, which has been very successful for them over the years, a unique style of defense.
Okay, here's Nanticoke with a 4th down and 10 at the Berwick 49, and they're going for it. Skidensky in motion. He'll lead the blocking for the toss sweep to Allen. Allen, good gain, but comes up short at about the Berwick 41-yard line.
Boy, you have to get by a number of tacklers there, Jim, but eventually Everett Snyder, probably coming from the backside all the way across. He gained about 8 or 9 of the 10 yards he needed, but tripped up just enough. Berwick able to bring him down and stop that potential drive.
So Berwick with a chance to put this into the mercy rule mode. They have their full complement of timeouts left, and they have it at their own 41-yard line. 54 seconds to go in the half. Takes Ty Wilkerson about 10 of those to get into the end zone, and he will be part of that backfield. Brock Sims is in there offensively as well, and it will be the Wildcat with Wilkerson about to take the snap from the 41. And Berwick, lots of movement before that snap.
Yeah, Berwick had two power backs to the right, two H-backs, and they were coming in motion to the left side when the snap came. Of course, it's only Canadian football where two men can be in motion, so they'll blow that one dead and march 5 off against Berwick.
So Bulldogs back in their 36-yard line.
First and 15 from the 36.
And the same alignment, blocking backs to the right. Wilkerson awaiting the snap. Now they shift to the left side. 3 blockers to the left. And again, whistles.
That shift really creates an overload. They already have a tight end out there. You bring the two H-backs wide of him on the left, and then you shift the running back wide of the H-backs. So you really, if you're the Trojans, need to make adjustments, and they're not shifting enough with the shift to counter that manpower that Berwick's putting out there.
Offside on Nanticoke. Berwick gets the 5 yards back from their 41-yard line. Wilkerson takes the snap, sweeps the left side. Nothing there. He'll be brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, real nice play by Julian Christopher, Jim. He was able to contain, force him in, grab the jersey, and then drag Kai Wilkerson down right at the line of scrimmage.
Timeout Berwick, 36 seconds to go in the half, 28-0 Bulldogs. You're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding. Specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
36 seconds remaining in the opening half here at Crispin Field. Berwick 28, Nanticoke nothing. Bulldogs with the football at their own 41-yard line. They have 2 timeouts remaining, and they face a 2nd down and 10. Billy Hansen is back in there. He'll take the snap. He has a running back to either side of him. Wilkerson to his left. Hansen back to throw. Steps up into it. Looking long, he has Wilkerson wide open. He can't make the catch. He was started to stumble around the 41-yard line. Ball went off his hands. He couldn't have been more open.
He was a left setback, and his other people head downfield to split ends. He escapes the backfield and does a seam route, and no one's really covering him. Billy Hansen just couldn't find the mark to get it to his very talented running back receiver, Ty Wilkerson, or he'd have been dancing in open field, Jim, and I'd have anticipated another score.
43 seconds to go in the half. Wilkerson now in a slot to the right. There's a slot to the left. Hansen back to throw. Dumps a pass off. Incomplete. Off the mark. And off the fingertips of Julian Howie at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, trying to catch him on a little arrow route. He's running down about 7-8 yards, and then the ball leads him a little too far. He's sort of diving for a fingertip catch. He would have downed himself with the dive. Instead, just an incomplete. We'll set up the 3rd and 10.
Well, we have 3rd down. Berwick's punt team came on the field.
Trying to count.
And now they're going off.
There was one penalty one way, one penalty the other way. Then the pass.
This is not pretty as Galusha comes on late. Now they're set. 3rd and 10. 40 seconds still to go in the half.
Berwick looking like they're missing a player or missing a play, missing a lineman.
This is not pretty right now.
No. Matt Gordner, I think, maybe thought it was punt and never got the word that, hey, it's not.
3rd and 10. Hansen back to throw. Has time. Looking long for Howie. Makes the catch at the 20. Down to the 15. Drags the tackler down to the 11. Billy Hansen to Julian Howie.
Oh, it's a beautiful pass. Chester Beggs is down there to defend, but he wasn't really defending the pass. Howie makes the catch, uses his speed and has a step, catches it over the shoulder, and then tries to run.
And now Hansen will just spike it and stop the clock with 28 seconds. 48 yards on that reception. Billy Hansen to Julian Howie. Berwick will have a second down at the 11 after the spike of the football. 28 seconds remaining.
You keep a better count of timeouts than I do, Jim.
Still 2 remaining.
2, that's what I thought. That's what I had.
Slot to the left, slot to the right. Hansen out of the gun. Galusha to his right. Billy Hansen dumps a pass off to Ty Wilkerson. Tries to turn the corner. Does so at the 10, the 5. Dives for the pylon. The official says touchdown Berwick.
Oh, it's a little swing pass. He wanted to hit Ty Wilkerson out of the backfield in the flat. He wasn't even at the line of scrimmage at that point. And it was a high pass. So Wilkerson has to go high, come down, and then at a standstill, elude a potential tackler, work the sideline. It looked like he was going to be pushed out. From the 3 or 4, he dives, extending the ball inside the pylon, and he is awarded the touchdown. We have a player down over at the point of the 5-yard line where the run was being, where the action was. They're holding his ankle. Again, it's a Trojan who's down, and they're going to stretch his calf back. In my mind, he's far enough off that you can do this PAT.
So are you ready to call this offense Air Berwick?
Well, I'd like it better if the balls were on target. The last couple passes have just been way too high. The Julian Howie pass that he could have had here on the left could have been completed, potential for a run. And this one to Ty Wilkerson, just the amazing athleticism for them to make the catch and run it in.
Can't see the number, but the Nanticoke player is okay. He's walking to the sideline. Caleb Yost will attempt the extra point to try to make this a mercy rule game at the half. The hold will be by Ashton Smith. Aiden George with the snap. Placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout on the field. 20 seconds remaining. Opening half. Berwick 35. Nanticoke nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
We're here at Ken Pollock in Berwick, and Ken is here with us. And Ken, you've been here for the last 10 years or so. Has Berwick welcomed you?
Absolutely. I think we align perfectly as a group with the Berwick community. We're community driven. We love servicing the people down here. We have great deals every day, whatever stage in life you might be at, looking for a car for your kid, family, whatever it might be. We have a huge selection here, and whatever you have, bring it down and we'll service it for you as well. Our people are very eager and very knowledgeable about the product that we do have, so we really want to help you out and make you a part of the Ken Pollock family.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Berwick's latest score, an 11-yard touchdown pass, dump off from Billy Hansen to Ty Wilkerson. Big play on that 3-play, 59-yard drive, a 48-yard completion from Hansen to Julian Howie. Logan Robinson will kick off for the Bulldogs. Just 20 seconds remaining in the half. Nanticoke with no timeouts remaining.
Just about all the kickoffs have been boot-style kicks. They're kicking from the left hash and toward the left sideline, trying to get people to chase and catch the ball before the Trojans do.
Robinson's kick down the middle, and fielded by Chris Julian. And he is gang tackled about the 37-yard line.
I like the way Gabe Decker did not give up on that. Came on hard and fought. Shiloh Escobar in the area as well.
Again, stay with us at halftime. Ben Willis will bring us updated on the high school football scoreboard. Weekend number 7 of the 10-week regular season kicking off. Here tonight, just perfect weather conditions here at Crispin Field. Ball at the 37-yard line. Wouldn't expect Nanticoke to try too much here. Out of timeouts. 13 seconds remaining in the half.
Michael Stahoviak, 3 of 5 passing, but the longest a 9-yarder on the season. No touchdown passes, 4 interceptions.
He is under center. Skanensky goes in motion, leads the blocking for the toss sweep to Allen. Preston Allen with a good effort out to midfield on the last play of this first half as he goes for 13 yards. And the half will come to an end with the score. Berwick 35 and Nanticoke nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
It's time for the Berwick Bulldogs halftime show on Pop Radio. Brought to you by W&L Subaru, Nissan, and Mazda. Discover the W&L difference today.
Be moved in a Mazda from W&L. Jump in with the whole family for a night of memories in the third row Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, offering 1.9% financing for 72 months.
Or choose bold utility in the all-new CX-70. You will elevate your driving experience with a comfortable cabin and expansive cargo capacity. Right now, W&L Mazda is offering 2.9% for 72 months.
See us off Route 11 in Northumberland and online at WNLMazda.com.
Financing available to well-qualified applicants only. Offer cannot be combined with any other discounts or incentives other than loyalty or military offers. Offers end 10/31/24. See W&L Mazda for complete offer details.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Visit your Bloomsburg State Farm agent, Sean Black, at InsureBloomsburg.com.
Planning your next big event? Weddings, concerts, church festivals, even construction sites. Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. No power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. They even provide sanitary service to campgrounds, parks, parties, and have 24-hour emergency service. Contact Preferred Portables to learn about event and contractor pricing. Check out their website, preferredportables.com. We're number one when you have to go number two.
When you've been sidelined by an injury, all you want is to get back in the game. Getting to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. We use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Call 833-LV-ORTHO. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
This is Mike from M&M Carpet One in Bloomsburg. Is this the first time you've shopped with us? Let me explain why you should shop at a Carpet One store. Work with flooring professionals through
owned with more than 35 years experience. And new Bulldog wear for every age, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, polos, hats, and more. They even make online fundraising easy for you. Stop in today to discuss your next fundraising opportunity. You can also shop at masonsmonogramming.com for their new inventory and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Masons Monogramming for their latest new items. Masons Monogram Service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you. Are you
washers, fryers, refrigerators, dishwashers, microwaves, stoves. They even give free estimates on Fujitsu ductless air.
But did you know we're also the biggest cheerleader for our community's youth? From athletes... every aspect of life. Journey Bank, where dreams are nurtured and futures are built. Journey Bank, proud supporter of our local youth.
For over 50 years, you've trusted Overhead Door to provide the finest quality residential and commercial garage door products, installation, and service. With winter right around the corner, your garage doors need a tune-up. For only $99 for one or $125 for multiple doors, they'll check, lube, and adjust your garage doors and openers so they operate smoothly. Call for their seasonal tune-up special, Overhead Door of Berwick. They're more than just doors. See their 5-star rating on their Google business page or visit ohdberwick.com.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Homecoming ceremonies on the field here at Crispin Field. We're at halftime with Berwick dominating Nanticoke to the tune of 35-0. Bulldogs scored the first time in their first possession and first play after Nanticoke tried a fake punt. Everett Snyder stopped it cold. Ty Wilkerson from the Wildcat took the snap, went off the right side, 37 yards for the touchdown. Caleb Yost kicked the extra point. Berwick had a 7-0 lead. On their third possession, same man, Ty Wilkerson, out of the same formation, the Wildcat, and the same side, off the right, 70 yards for the score. Caleb Yost with the extra point, 14-0 Bulldogs after one. In the second quarter, Billy Hansen threw the first touchdown pass of his career, 28 yards to Skylar Neville, who caught his first touchdown reception of his career, capping a 5-play, 55-yard drive. Caleb Yost with the extra point. Berwick 21 and Nanticoke nothing. That was with 4:59 remaining in the second. Just 11 seconds later, Berwick was on the board again as Skylar Neville recovered a muffed kickoff, and then Billy Hansen, a 25-yard touchdown pass to Julian Howie, his first touchdown reception of his career. Caleb Yost with the extra point. Berwick led 28-0, and the Bulldogs put this into a mercy rule mode with just 20 seconds remaining in the half as Billy Hansen, again to the air, dump pass off the right side to Ty Wilkerson, made a great effort to get to the pylon, 11 yards altogether. Caleb Yost with the extra point, and Berwick at the half leading Nanticoke by a score of 35-0. Stay with us. At the half, we'll take a look at stats with Andy Lickney. We'll take a look at scores with Ben Willis. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Family tradition is the foundation of Nespoli Jewelers, a family tradition started by Joseph Nespoli and continued by his grandson Jonathan. For 3 generations, Nespoli Jewelers have prided themselves on mixing fine with fashion. Jonathan can customize your engagement ring and wedding bands, design a unique piece of jewelry inspired by you, or simply help you find an affordable gift. Service, quality, creativity. Nespoli Jewelers. Yesterday's principles, today's creations. East Front Street in Berwick and online at nespolijewelers.com.
Be moved in a Mazda from W&L.
Jump in with the whole family for a night of memories in the third row Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, offering 1.9% financing for 72 months.
Or choose bold utility in the all-new CX-70. You will elevate your driving experience with a comfortable cabin and expansive cargo capacity. Right now, W&L Mazda is offering 2.9% for 72 months.
See us off Route 11 in Northumberland and online at WNLMazda.com.
Financing available to well-qualified applicants only. Offer cannot be combined with any other discounts or incentives other than loyalty or military offers. Offers end 10/31/24. See W&L Mazda for complete offer details.
Planning your next big event? Weddings, concerts, church festivals, even construction sites. Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. No power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. They even provide sanitary service to campgrounds, parks, parties, and have 24-hour emergency service. Contact Preferred Portables to learn about event and contractor pricing. Check out their website, preferredportables.com. We're number 1 when you have to go number 2.
Berwick Dental Arts, 9th Street in Berwick, is proud to be keeping generations of beautiful smiles across Bulldog Nation. Dr. Susan Ermish, Dr. Nathaniel Fluke, and their staff practice general and restorative dentistry, and they're open Monday through Friday. Whether you need a simple cleaning or a complicated procedure, Berwick Dental Arts will see that you have the best smile so you can be your best. Berwick Dental Arts, 9th Street in Berwick, is a proud supporter of Berwick Bulldogs football. Visit their website at berwickdentalarts.com.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Jim Doyle and Andy Lickney from Crispin Field in Berwick, where the Bulldogs lead Nanticoke at the break 35-0. For an update on other scores, let's go to Ben Willis.
Thank you, Jim. Taking a look at some halftime scores around the area. Milton, Central Columbia, both tied at 14 at the half. Crestwood leads Hazelton right now 14-0 at halftime. Dunmore leads Mid-Valley 14-7 at half. And Wyoming area leads Hanover 49-7 at halftime. Other scores, Lewisburg leads Midwest 41-0 in the second. Loyal Sock trails Warrior Run leading 16-14 now in the third. Southern Columbia has a short lead over Mifflinburg, 14-13 late in the second. At halftime, Mount Carmel leads Danville 13-7. Now starting the third, Montgomery in the Mercy Rule as well over Northwest, 35-0. Pittston leads Wilkes-Barre area 10-7 at the half. Shikellamy and Selinsgrove starting the third, reportedly scoreless. Shamokin leads Williamsport 21-6 in the third. Valley View leads North Pocono 14-6 also in the third. And at halftime, Western Wayne leads West Scranton 35-3. Back to you, Jim.
Thank you very much, Ben. The homecoming activities continuing here at Crispin Field. Berwick leading Nanticoke at the break 35-0. We'll take a look at stats with Andy Lickney when we return. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Pop Radio.
We're here at Ken Pollock in Berwick, and Ken is here with us. And Ken, you've been here for the last 10 years or so. Has Berwick welcomed you?
Absolutely. I think we align perfectly as a group with the Berwick community. We're community-driven. We love servicing the people down here. We have great deals every day, whatever stage in life you might be at, looking for a car for your kid, family, whatever it might be. We have a huge selection here, and whatever you have, bring it down, and we'll service it for you as well. Our people are very eager and very knowledgeable about the product that we do have, so we really want to help you out and make you a part of the Ken Pollock family.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 35 years experience. And new Bulldog wear for every age, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, polos, hats, and more. They even make online fundraising easy for you. Stop in today to discuss your next fundraising opportunity. You can also shop at masonsmonogramming.com for their new inventory and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogramming for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram Service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you. Free checking for you and your business. No strings attached. Sounds perfect, right? First Keystone Community Bank offers free personal and business checking options with free Visa debit card, no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and no monthly qualifying requirements. Checking with no gimmicks, just what you need. They'll be celebrating 160 years of serving their communities with 19 full-service locations and convenient digital banking tools 24/7. First Keystone Community Bank. Local banking for the community we all call home. Online at fkc.bank. Equal Opportunity Lender, member FDIC.
This is Mike from M&M Carpet One in Bloomsburg. Is this the first time you've shopped with us? Let me explain why you should shop at a Carpet One store. We have over 1,300 store buying power. Carpet One stores sell more floor covering than the two big box stores do combined. That means not only do you get the best price, but you get to work with flooring professionals throughout the entire process, from estimates to installation. No one will give you more for your flooring dollar than M&M Carpet One in Bloomsburg.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Pop Radio.
All Berwick here through the first half at Crispin Field. They lead Nanticoke area, the first meeting between these two teams since 1988. It's Berwick 35 and Nanticoke nothing. Stats from that opening half. Andy Lickney.
Well, you know, Jim, we've focused on the Berwick offense, and you certainly can. 345 yards of total offense. 223 on the ground, 122 in the air. But the Berwick defense is doing a gem of a game here as well. They've allowed just 56 yards in total offense, 41 on the ground, and 15 in the air for the Trojans. For the Trojans, Michael Stachowiak in the passing game, he's 3 of 5. That's not a bad percentage, but he only has 15 yards passing. Berwick's just not giving him time. Been rolling out, trying to get receivers. Pushed one out to Jason Oborski, a 9-yarder. That was the longest pass of the half for the Trojans. Chris Julian, he has a 2-yard catch. And Tyler Skordensky, fullback, swung out of the backfield, a 4-yard catch for him. So in all, 3 receivers, 3 catches, in 5 attempts for just 15 yards for the Nanticoke Trojans in the air. On the ground, Tristan Allen, he was the leading rusher for this team coming in with 80 carries and 273 yards. He's had most of the carries for his team. He's had Ken Totes, 33 yards, as Berwick's really been fighting to keep him in check. Just about 3 yards a carry for the star running back for the Nanticoke Trojans, Tristan Allen. Christian Julian, he has 1 carry and make that a 9-yarder. Christopher Julian. Tyler Skordensky, as a fullback, just 1 carry, a 4-yard power run for him. James Bush, out of the Wildcat, 2 carries, a total of 3 yards. And Michael Stahoviak, the quarterback, well, he's been flushed out of the pocket or deep in the pocket, sacked for an 8-yard loss early in the game. 15 rushing plays in all, a net of 41 yards. We mentioned the 3 of 5 passing for 15 for a total of 56 yards here at halftime. For the Berwick Bulldogs, they've really been putting up the offense. 223 on the ground, 122 in the air, 345 in all. Ty Wilkerson, he's the feature man. He just is so skilled. Power, moves, speed. What doesn't he have? In this game, 9 carries, 179 yards rushing here at halftime. He just looks unstoppable when you can get him in that open space, and he often makes his own open space with moves at the line of scrimmage, whether it's juke steps, just those little sideways hops, power with a stiff arm to free him the one time. Just wonderful running, and then the speed when the field opens up. For Ty Wilkerson, it's 9 rushes, 179 yards. Gavin Galusha, back from injury, 5 carries for him for 40 yards, including a touchdown run. He's looked solid. The only other rusher then would be Billy Hansen, the quarterback. He has 3 carries for 4 yards, a little bit limited, whereas in previous games we've seen him as a mainstay running the ball. Here he's been handing it off more, going with Wildcat with Wilkerson or giving it to Galusha. Here, limited the quarterback running game, 3 for 4 yards for Billy Hansen. But Billy Hansen is turned into a thrower, 5 completes in 8 attempts, no interceptions, and 122 yards in the air. Hit Aiden Jordan, the fullback in the flat. Aiden ran for 10 yards, very nice reception there. And Julian Howie, he has 2 catches for 73 yards. Ty Wilkerson out of the backfield, an 11-yard catch for him. And Skylar Neville joins the touchdown club with a 28-yard reception for a score. 122 in the air. 1, 2, 3, 4 receivers with 5 catches for the 122. Again on the ground, 17 rushes for 223. And here at halftime, Berwick was dominating with 345 yards in total offense. Compare that to the defense holding the Nanticoke Trojans to just 56 yards here at halftime, Jim.
Andy, we knew about the speed of Ty Wilkerson. The whole Wyoming Valley Conference, the whole state knows of his speed. But I think you brought up this point on a couple of his runs in the first half. He's more than a straight-ahead speedster. He has some moves. He has some jukes. He has some jump stops. He's got a chance to be something special. Remember, he's got another year to go.
He's something special right now, Jim, when you look at, getting his feet wet in the first part of the season and then the way he's been exploding lately. It is. The speed is one thing, and that certainly can separate you. And when you get an open field, boom, you're gone. And that's certainly true with him. But the coaching staff is designing plays just for his special talents. They'll shift 2 H-backs opposite the tight end or with the tight end on one side, and then they'll bring a running back there. So it's like 3 H-backs and a tight end. It's an incredible overshift that they're giving. Then they just pitch him the ball and say, find the seam. So he has the vision to run out there under control, see where it's going to open, and somewhere it's going to open because half the defense is still the other side of the center. he finds that seam, and then once he's in open field, if a corner comes up, he can juke step him. He can, use speed. He can head fake. I saw him in the one run where a linebacker was coming to knife in and should have had a play, and he just stiff-armed him with the left arm. He just shocked him away like, you're not there, buddy. He's a very physical runner inside. He has the moves toward open field. He has the vision to find the seams. And then add that speed. Wow, that speed. He is a very, very special talent right now with another year to play.
You mentioned the physicality. He's 6'2", 190, and we saw him against a very, very good Wyoming area team gain some yardage between the tackles.
Yeah, and I think this is something where he's learning how physical he is. I think when you're a track star, you think, hey, I'm running an impeded down lane. And I think when you had him out at wide receiver, it's going to put a little move and not be touched and go. You put him in that wildcat, or you put him in that backfield, he's starting to grow into the collision part of the game. He doesn't seem to mind it. He doesn't mind getting bumped or dropping the shoulder or driving, and he looks just so good doing it, in whatever style it's going to take. If you need 10 yards and you're trying to stop him at 7, he's going to drive you for the next 3 and get there. And he's just kind of growing into that now. He's just learning how to do it and realizing, this is something I can do. And he seems to enjoy it.
Not to give up on this season just yet, because there's 2 away games, then there's a home game, then there's going to be at least 1 playoff game. But you look at this Berwick alignment and all the speed they have, and the 3 big linemen that are going to return next year, and Nico Lonzinski, Matt Gordner, and J.J. Leonard. And they've got something going here.
They do. And I understand there's some special talent down in the junior high that might be able to step right in and step up and help the varsity. So when you look at all of the skill people, all of the, big boys in the line, you look at another year of acclimating to this new defensive alignment, whether it's the 5-3 or whether they look at the 4. And the experience then of playing in the secondary, playing new linebacker positions, getting yourself adjusted to it all. The experience of this year, another year of growth and weight room, so much talent and size coming back. It really does look to be very for Berwick's future.
Defensively, neither of us knew defensive coordinator R.J. Hawes prior to this season. One thing we can tell you about his defensives, they are nothing less than aggressive. They have had so many blitzes in tonight's game, and they're run blitzes. They don't expect Nanticoke to throw the ball. And Nanticoke wants to run that wing tee, and there's a lot of tricky plays you can run off the wing tee, but not when there's that much penetration.
No, and I think they pretty much gave up on running their wing tee after the first series or 2. Berwick was coming with 8 men, shooting through the gaps and getting into the backfield. You just don't have time for the deception. You don't have time to cross the backs. People are in your face and, bringing you down for 5-yard losses. And I've enjoyed watching the defense over the course of the year. They game plan for their opponent. I think, we heard early when it was scrimmage season, they're going to want to run a 4-man line, and they quickly made adjustments to either fit the talent or to better, fit the game plan against particular offenses by what they're going to do. They're comfortable in the 5-man line. They're comfortable with 2 linebackers. They're comfortable with 3. And they're very well coached in the secondary. And, we're also talking where they've been limited with some of their playmakers out. Caleb May is a lockdown cornerback that you can put on anybody. And you've had to go without him a little bit. So I like the adjustments I've seen in game plans for particular offenses, depending on who they're facing. I like what I see during the game. If they're getting hurt in the C-gap, before the quarter ends, they're making adjustments to a different defense or a different scheme and making stops where they weren't.
Berwick will get the football to start the second half, and it's just a matter of how long C.J. Curry wants to go with his starters. Again, back-to-back tough road games coming up at Williamsport, at Selinsgrove. Might give him a series or 2 and then get him off the field. J.P. Pascazaqua
Pasquazaka.
I've been practicing it all day and finally get to say it as he will kick off for Nanticoke, and Berwick will be moving from our right to our left. Bulldogs looking for their second win of the season, leading the Trojans by a score of 35-0.
He'll be kicking from the middle of the field. Right now he's straight on. Now he's going to take his little steps over for soccer approach.
Pasquazaka kick to the far side. Fielded by one of the up men. The return to the 30, the 35, the 40, and out to the 47-yard line. Aiden George on the return for the Bulldogs.
He's been having a nice game, Jim. We've seen some defensive plays. He's looked very impressive at fullback. He has a catch. He's been standing out a little bit in this game.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at their own 46-yard line. Skylar Neville had his first touchdown reception of his career. Actually, he had 2 touchdown receptions in that opening half. One was called back. Skylar will line up as a tight end to the left. Gabe Decker on the right. Julian Howie, wide receiver to the right. Out. It's Wilkerson giving off this time. He got the snap in the Wildcat and handed off to Gavin Galusha, and Galusha picks up about 6.
Yeah, surprised. We don't normally see that exchange when he's in the Wildcat, but he got it over there. Galusha kind of snagged the ball out of his hands to make sure that he was able to take it. He'll take 5 yards on the first play.
Well, you don't want to get to the point where every time that Ty Wilkerson is back there for the Wildcat, you know he's going to run. He's going to sweep to his side. Mix it up a little bit. They did that time. Now he has no running backs with him. As he takes the snap, tries to sweep the left side, hit way behind the line. He'll lose yardage back to the 42. Treston Allen with great penetration and a big play for him.
Yeah, he stood out offensively and defensively, Jim, from his linebacker. Coming on a design blitz over the right side. Ty Wilkerson, designed to run in that direction, meets up with him in the backfield and eventually spin out of his hands. But the rest of the team then catches up to drop Ty Wilkerson for a 3-yard loss. Oh, 8-yard loss.
8-yard loss, yes. It's 3rd and 13 for the Bulldogs as Billy Hansen checks back in at the quarterback spot. Ty Wilkerson to his left. There's a wide receiver to either side. 3rd and long. Wilkerson comes in motion. Back to throw. Hansen. He's in trouble. He's hit. Fumbles the football. And Chris Julian recovers for Nanticoke at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, needs to be more aware of ball security there, Jim. He got a little lax. Felt a little pressure, rolled himself to the left while he's looking downfield. He has Howie down there. He has other receivers. But as he's approaching the line of scrimmage, still looking to pass, the ball gets swatted out of his hands, and that's a turnover that he wished he had back.
Chris Julian with the recovery, and Nanticoke with the ball at the Berwick 43-yard line. We are in the mercy rule. The clock continues to run. 9:13 remaining in this third quarter. Treston Allen is the running back directly behind the quarterback, Michael Stoviak. Wing to either side. Toss, sweep, left side. Allen is hit and dropped. Great penetration by Rocco Romeo.
Right, and he chased him right back into Chase Shuckers, who also had penetration in the inside when Allen tried to reverse his field. But no area to reverse. He's going to lose 5 yards.
Second down and 14 for Nanticoke at the Berwick 47-yard line. Rocco Romeo's had a terrific season at linebacker for the Bulldogs. Came in leading the team in tackles with 21. He's been very, very active in this one. Here's a 2nd and long. Trojans at the Bulldog 47. Slot to the right side. Stahoviak under center. Berwick showing blitz. They jumped across.
Didn't make any contact, but the flag comes out nonetheless. If jumping across induces movement from the offensive lineman, they're going to have to throw that flag and kill the play. So they'll get the 5 yards back after the good defensive play. They drop them for 5 yards. Now it comes back near the original line of scrimmage.
If there's one big negative to Berwick's 35-0 performance to this point. It's been penalties.
Yeah.
Much too many.
It's been a bit of a problem all year, Jim. Need a little bit more discipline, but that was an aggressive jump there.
Here's the give to Skidinski off the left side. The fullback has a head of steam and gets to the Berwick 36, maybe the 35-yard line. Caden Schaefer makes the stop from his corner position for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, struggled a little bit in getting the exchange. First bobbled it near the line of scrimmage, but once he secured it, he ran hard through a seam in the B gap on the left side, and he bulls his way for a good 7-8 yards.
3rd down and 3. Nanticoke certainly in 4-down territory, the score being what it is, and the ball at the Berwick 36-yard line. Slot to the left side. Backs in an open set. Stahoviak, quarterback keeper, looking for the first down. It'll come up a bit short.
Yeah, but I like the call. I think he saw if he followed his right guard, he's going to get either the chains or most of the way through the chains. Yeah, 4th down now and the length of a football. So I like the way he read that.
4th down and 1. Nanticoke at the Berwick 34-yard line. Trojans trying to get on the board for the first time in this game. They've struggled offensively. They've been shut out 3 times. Had just 7 points in that loss to Lake Lehman last Friday. Here we go, 4th and 1. Backs in an open set. Slot to the right side. Stahoviak to Allen. He'll go nowhere. Rocco Romeo with a terrific defensive play from Berwick.
He came in. Jay Shuckers at the point of attack. We're also sealing Shiloh Escobar in there, but Rocco Romeo semi-blitzing, anticipating the ball being handed off and coming his way, shoots the gap, meets the man in the backfield, and they stop the 4th and very short attempt.
Loss of 2 on that play to the 36. That's where the Bulldogs will put it in play with 5:29 to go in the 3rd quarter. And Berwick leading this one by a score of 35-0. Skylar Neville's the tight end on the left. Gabe Decker on the right. Wilkerson hands off to Galusha. Gavin Galusha with a nice gain out to the 44-yard line.
Serafino Raji coming up and making the hit, but not until he extends that. Approaching the 1st down, he'll be about a yard short. Again, it's awkward. We haven't seen Ty Wilkerson quarterbacking where he's doing exchanges and handing off, but that one looked a lot smoother than the first one. And boy, the offensive line just moved the defensive line out of there.
2nd and 2. Galusha again, big first down over midfield to the 47, maybe the 46-yard line of Nanticoke.
Just testing the middle, Jim. They're riding right up the gut. Not even the A-gaps, really, right over Gavin Jones. Raven Geiger, Matt Gordner surrounding him, and they're at that point of attack. Gavin Galusha is finding easy going. We have a Trojan down on the field, Jim, so we'll have a stoppage.
And this is about 6 or 7 injuries on their part. That was a 10-yard run by Gavin Galusha.
Put him at 64 for the game. You know, if he was playing a full second half here, you could pace him toward a 100-yard game if they keep giving him the ball. Ty Wilkerson, though, was the story in the first half. He had 9 carries for 179, back to 169 now as they caught him in the backfield on 1. Cramping up, Jim. They're stretching that leg. Again, doing it on the field while we're all stopped, and teams are taking a little water, but early enough in the half that they don't really need the water.
4:36 to go in this 3rd quarter. It's been all Berwick tonight. Happy to welcome Gavin Galusha back to the lineup.
Oh, yeah.
Tell you, when you have a running back as talented as him, and then you have Wilkerson, and then you have Billy Hansen starting to throw the football, you've got something going here.
You know, and you realize in the past few games, the biggest weapon was the running of Billy Hansen. That hasn't even been a part of this game plan, Jim. He just has 3 carries or so, make it 4 for just 2 yards. You know, it's not like he's getting called by his number for designed runs. If you want to run someone from the quarterback, You put Ty Wilkerson in there as the Wildcat, and it's an even a more dangerous threat.
Tyler Skordinski, who's the injured player for Nanticoke, and he walks off gingerly under his own power. Berwick with the ball at the Trojan 46-yard line with a 1st and 10. Harry Kasky, the referee, indicates start the clock. Julian Howie wide right. Out of the Wildcat. Wilkerson to Galusha again, looking for some yardage, has some.
Ball.
And gets down to the 37. He may have coughed up the football. And Nanticoke has it.
Yeah, right at the end of the run, he was about 9 yards into it. It got stripped away, and Chester Beggs in the area is able to pick it up. I really like the way he runs, though. He's deep in that eye behind the shotgun quarterback, takes it. He has about 5-6 yards where his line is not letting anything penetrate. They're exploding forward, and then he's picking his way left, right, using his vision, using his cuts. But then at the very end, lost the ball as it's being pulled away.
Second turnover by the Bulldogs, both in this third quarter. And Nanticoke has it at their own 36-yard line. Stahoviak gives to Allen coming from a wing right, and nothing there for Treston Allen. He's just a little guy. Boy, he's taking a thumping tonight. He'll lose a couple on that play.
Gabe Decker at defensive end on that side is letting nothing wide of him. Takes on the blocker and pretty much shoves him into Treston Allen. And then 3 or 4 other blue jerseys collapsing on it. And the result, a loss of 2 yards on that sort of wing-back reverse.
2nd and 12 for Nanticoke at their own 34-yard line. The wide receiver to the right, wing to either side. Again, Allen is the running back directly behind. No, he's on a wing. As Stahoviak rolls right, looking to throw, fires a pass incomplete. Boy, Tyler Neville was all over the quarterback, who just barely got it away.
He's playing the end where the quarterback is rolling toward. Boy, you're going to be chased. As Stahoviak rolls a lot and throws a lot on the run. But while he has a man running and out, the coverage is pretty strong in that area, and then the ball's nowhere near him, as the accuracy of the pass just can't be there because of the pressure on the quarterback.
3rd and 12, Nanticoke at their own 34-yard line as we go under 2 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Stahoviak, the junior quarterback, directing his running backs behind him. Berwick showing blitz. Nanticoke guard on the right side starts his blocking before the play gets started. 5 yards. Back to the 29-yard line. Bring up 3rd and 17.
Yep, Al Sharif, Millerons. Pretty visible there. One of the bigger fellows on the Trojan team. Can't really hide as he comes out, and he's pulling with the motion. So he faces you with that big number 50.
1:20 remaining in the third. No scoring in this third quarter so far. Berwick continues to lead 35-0. Bulldogs coming on a blitz. Call off the right side. Some positive yardage, but not nearly enough as they'll gain out to about the 34-yard line.
Is Treston Allen coming up from the bottom of that pile, and just not many places to run as Berwick is playing good defense. One thing they're doing defensively that I've never quite seen, the defensive end and outside linebacker, before the snap, exchange positions. So we're seeing like Rocco Romeo go up where Skylar Neville is, and Neville drop back into his spot. Rather unique.
Chris Julian back to do the punting. Runs to his right and keeps the football and is buried at the 28-yard line.
Not a good decision.
Couldn't tell. It looked like he was looking to get the rugby-style kick away and saw that that wasn't a possibility. And so he just kept it. Berwick will take over at the Nanticoke 28.
I've been seeing him on occasion kick it very quickly, although I think he's more comfortable with 2-3 steps and kick it sideways. There's the quarter, Jim.
3 quarters in the books here at Crispin Field. Berwick 35, Nanticoke nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
When you've been sidelined by an injury, all you want is to get back in the game. Getting to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. We use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Call 833-LV-ORTHO. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
Family tradition is the foundation of Nespoli Jewelers, a family tradition started by Joseph Nespoli and continued by his grandson Jonathan. For 3 generations, Nespoli Jewelers have prided themselves on mixing fine with fashion. Jonathan can customize your engagement ring and wedding bands, design a unique piece of jewelry inspired by you, or simply help you find an affordable gift. Service, quality, creativity. Nespoli Jewelers. Yesterday's principles, today's creations. East Front Street in Berwick and online at nespolijewelers.com.
This is Berwick football coach CJ Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Berwick has the football to start this fourth quarter. They lead Nanticoke 35-0. They have it at the Trojans' 28-yard line with a 1st and 10. Gabe Decker remains in there as a tight end to the right. He and Skylar Neville have been bookends.
Very active, offensively and defensively, bookends at defensive end.
Hanson under center, gives the ball to Wilkerson, breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage, and then is brought down at the 25-yard line. Pick up a 3 for Ty Wilkerson.
James Bush grabbed him by the ankle at the line of scrimmage, just refused to let go. Tyler Wilkerson twisted, and then eventually falling forward will gain a good 2 yards.
Second down call coming. Bulldogs at the Trojan 25-yard line. Center Gavin Jones over the football. 2 blocking backs to the right. Wilkerson, the lone running back. Gets the call, follows those blockers, but nothing there. Gets what he can to about the 24-yard line. That was a nice defensive play by Manny Sosa of Nanticoke. And another Trojan now. They've had about 8 or 9 injuries in this game.
And away from the play, Jim, it's a run to the right. This guy goes down, who's covering the split end on the left. Now, if these are continual cramps, start getting the pickle juice out. Something's got to happen. He rolled, and now he stood up and he's walking off.
Just a yard on the play. It's going to be 3rd and 6 for Berwick at the Nanticoke 24-yard line.
It was an odd play. They're kind of submarining at the line of scrimmage. They're the defensive linemen, creating a pile. And Ty Wilkerson at that point kind of had the high step and then just dived to get what he could.
Wilkerson's not in there for this 3rd and 6. Gavin Galusha is. Blocking backs to the right. Hanson toss sweep to the right. Galusha follows the blockers and is hit hard as he gets down to about the 19-yard line. They needed 6. He got about 5.
Justin Johnson came up from corner and went low. And Gavin Galusha went somersaulting over. But again, with his aggressiveness, he's fighting to get the chains. And he'll get enough to move the chains.
To the 18-yard line. So give him 6 on that play. 1st and 10 Bulldogs. Everett Snyder in motion to the left. The give is to Galusha off the left. He takes on a secondary man from Nanticoke who hangs on for the tackle at about the 14-yard line.
Yeah, Reagan Jackson coming up and squaring with him, and there's nothing you can do. He wasn't going to be faked left or right. Not enough time for a move. So Gavin Galusha drops to shoulder, ignoring the past injury of a concussion, taking on a shocking hit there. And he'll win the battle with a 4-yard gain.
Brock Sims in the Berwick lineup. The sophomore's had his moments this year. He's averaging 8 yards a carry on 19 attempts. Hasn't had one in this game, but now he is the lone running back as Hanson under center. Second down call coming from the Nanticoke 14. Sims gets the call, tries the right side. Good penetration, but he breaks away. Gets close to the 10-yard line. Nice effort, Brock Sims.
Yes, it was. Ethan Burns was able to get through and wrap him in the backfield for a moment. But Brock spins, gives a little spin. We see that Ethan Burns goes spinning away, and then they have to catch him in the secondary.
3rd down and 3. Berwick at the Nanticoke 11-yard line. 2 blocking backs. in the backfield. Sims the call off the left side, cut down in the open field. Penalty flag down. It might be a face mask. I don't know what else it could be at that point.
James Bush made the hit. Coming up from the secondary as Brock Sims kind of got himself a soft corner. Not one you can run wide, but he's going to run it through the C gap as the tight end block now. People came up to hit him, and he tried to roll away from him. Which way are they moving this, Jim?
They indicated a hold against Berwick.
Berwick's gone very vanilla at this point. They pulled the starters where we no longer see Ty Wilkerson or even Gavin Galusha in there. They've been pretty much targeting Brock Sims up in between the tackles with power backs.
Penalty will bring it back to the 17-yard line, and it'll bring up 3rd and 9 for Berwick at the Nanticoke 17.
Would normally be a passing situation, but with the mercy rule in effect, you never quite know what kind of play will be called.
Blocking backs to the right. Sims is the lone running back. Play action. Hansen back to throw. Fires to the end zone. The ball is tipped and incomplete.
Nice coverage. Nice coverage back there. Justin Johnson again. We saw him come up and make a good tackle on Galusha. This time he stays back on the receiver. He's able to have the coverage in the end zone.
Pass intended for Gabe Decker. And now looks like Berwick's going to attempt a field goal as Caleb Yost comes on. He's kicked one this year from 28 yards. This hold will be at the 25. So this will be a 35-yard field goal attempt out of the hold of Ashton Smith. Aiden George does the long snapping. Snap a little high. Smith does a good job getting it down. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. No good. Came up just short.
A bit.
And Nanticoke will take over. There's been no scoring in this second half. There's just 6:40 to go in the game.
Berwick suffered some turnovers in this half. They've gone to an all-running offense. Pulled a number of starters. They've gone a little bit more vanilla in the last few series that we've seen. Nanticoke still hasn't had much success with its offense getting anything generated.
And I know when you're a defensive coordinator like R.J. Hawes, you like to see that 0 up there.
Oh, you do. You do. No matter if you have substitutes in there playing or not, you like to preserve shutouts.
It would be Berwick's first of the season, but they still have 6:08 to preserve it. Nanticoke at their own 20. Direct snap to Treston Allen, and Allen with a good effort will get out near the 25-yard line.
Defense eventually converging, but yeah, you're not sure which one's going to get it, the quarterback or the back aside of them. Both had their hands up, and the snap goes a little bit sideways to the halfback, Treston Allen, who takes it off the right side and gets a 6-yard gain.
2nd down and 4 for the Trojans at their own 26-yard line. 5.5 minutes to go in this one. Stay with us in the post-game. Ben Willis bring us updated on the high school football scoreboard. Andy will have all the stats from this one. Wakowiak lines up alongside Allen. The snap goes to neither. And Wakowiak back to the 5-yard line where he's buried.
Busted play, Jim. Busted play. They're moving people around. I'm watching Treston Allen like he's quarterbacking, directing the man to push to his side and moving the man in motion. But then neither of the two seeming quarterbacks seemed any awareness that they were going to get the ball. The ball comes, both move in different directions, and that ball goes wildly toward the end zone.
Back around the 8-yard line. It's an 18-yard loss. 4:35 to go. Allen gets the call off the right side. Treston Allen will get to about the 15-yard line. Give him 7 on the play.
He's a fighter, Jim. I'm surprised he seems relatively short. Normally you see people a little more physical, a little more size, but he has a lot of fight to him.
So it's 4th and long. Nanticoke with 4 minutes remaining in this one. They have faked one punt. I don't see a punter in there.
Oy, oy, oy. This field position and needing 16 yards.
Direct snap and a loss on the play. Back to the 9-yard line. That's where Berwick will have it. They'll lose yardage. That was a direct snap to Treston Allen. And Berwick will have it for one more time as that clock runs with 3:24 to go.
Berwick doesn't need any more points, Jim, but boy, when you're going 4th and 16 from around your own 10-yard line, it's kind of hard for the Berwick team to come out and not score. You know, you got to blame that a little bit on the Trojans themselves if Berwick puts another touchdown on. Everyone in there is going to play out their hardest. You can still call vanilla type plays inside the tackles. A lot of substitutes, and we have a stoppage.
Yeah, Nanticoke used the timeout. I think they're going to get their subs in. Berwick has got theirs in. 2:59 remaining. Again, the Bulldogs on the road to Williamsport next week. We'll be interested to hear Ben Wilson's update on the Williamsport Shamokin game. Boy, Shamokin having a terrific season.
Oh, they are.
And also fascinated to hear Mount Carmel leading Danville at the half. It's a matchup of teams that will likely meet again. In that District 4, Mount Carmel had been AA for many, many years. They moved up to AAA, and they will likely be the biggest obstacle in the way of a Danville team that appears to be headed for big things. So Brock Sims will be the running back for Berwick. Ashton Smith is the quarterback.
Jimmy, that new 85 that you have on the roster is the fullback.
That's Diaz. That is Franklin Diaz. He is the fullback.
Oop.
And movement.
Wanted to snap. Right tackle moved. Ashton Smith started pulling out. And they'll move 5 yards back, make it a little harder to score. And I think C.J. Curry, in one way, doesn't mind it. I don't think he wants another score, but you never like your team to lack the discipline to get the cadence count right.
Yeah, we said that earlier. That's the only real negative to this Bulldog win tonight. Lots of penalties. Diaz, the fullback, ahead of Brock Sims. In the eye from the 15. Sims will get it. Breaks one tackle, breaks another, gets down to the 5, maybe the 6-yard line off the left side.
A tough runner, and the blockers are blocked. They gave him a seam in the B gap off the left side. Brock Sims, who had 6 yards prior to that carry, is going to add, what, about 8?
Yes, 8 exactly to the 7. Second and goal, Bulldogs. Again, the I formation. Diaz ahead of the sophomore. Brock Sims gets the call off the left side, heading toward the pylon. He gets in, but there's a flag down the flag.
Yeah, linesman threw it as he turned the corner. And it was really a soft corner where he was almost trotting his way to the flag, to the pylon there. Looks like they want to keep the clock moving while they put this penalty off, holding on Berwick. I didn't quite see the hold, and sometimes you wonder if these officials don't want to see the extra scores put on.
Ball back to the 13-yard line.
Brock Sims would have liked the touchdown, though.
Yes.
Jim. Yeah.
He looks good.
Yeah. Well, that one was a little too easy.
And just a sophomore.
Yep.
To go with Galusha, a sophomore. Berwick well stocked at that running back position in the future. Ashton Smith will fake handoff, keep it himself, and off the right side, he'll get in for the score from 13 yards out with 1:04 to go.
A little bootleg action, fake to the left, and then a naked boot with the quarterback with a good hip, ball on the hip, faking himself to the right. There was one man left that he had to deke out, and he was able to elude him and get himself into the end zone. Caleb Yost, had been the kicker, but Berwick will go with a different kicker, Luke Kiefer,
will attempt the extra point. Bulldogs are 4 deep at kicker, by the way.
Yep. And they're all good.
Keeper's kick is up, and it's no good. No good, off to the right. 1:04 to go in this one. Berwick 41. Nanticoke nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Pop Radio.
Stop. Don't make your next car payment. Instead, get a new vehicle at Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg. Because right now, we're offering a 120% of Kelley Blue Book trade value buyback bonus, up to $2,500. Just find the vehicle you want from our huge selection of new Buicks and GMCs and get 120% of KBB trade-in value for yours. It's the 120% of KBB buyback bonus event going on now at Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg. The lowest price guaranteed.
13-yard keeper for the touchdown. The only score in this second half as Berwick leads at 41-0, 1:04 remaining as Logan Robinson will kick it off.
I want to absolve Luke Kiefer, the kicker, on missing that PAT, Jim. Happened quick. The snap wasn't good, and then it was hard for the holder to get it up. It never quite got set up right for him. Very tricky for him to make that PAT under those conditions.
Logan Robinson will kick it off. Kick is high. Field by Chris Julian. Back pedals is hit and dropped about the 23-yard line. 57 seconds remaining in this one. We mentioned Berwick on the road next week, traveling to Williamsport, take on the Millionaires for the Trojans of Nanticoke. They have a home game against Honesdale. Their next action next Friday. Ball at the 25-yard line. Clock running, perhaps one more snap for the Trojans. If so, it will be taken by Chris Beggs, a sophomore. He will be at the quarterback controls as the clock winds down with 12, 11, 10. Beggs under center, hands off. One more stop by Gabe Decker to end this one. The final score, Berwick 41 and Nanticoke nothing. We'll be back to take a look at other scores, the wrap-up in this one, and you're listening to Bulldogs Football on Pop Radio.
Are you on the market for a new set of wheels? Once you find whether it's a functional grocery getter or a midlife crisis hot rod, the tag and title experts at Berwick Notary in Berwick are open 6 days a week, so you can be rest assured you'll be on the road and legal in no time. Berwick Notary can transfer a title, register an ATV or any kind of vehicle, and they're the only notary in Columbia County that registers boats. Berwick Notary's been serving the Bulldog community for over 40 years, and they proudly support the Berwick Bulldogs. Check out their Facebook page and go Dogs.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Visit your Bloomsburg State Farm agent, Sean Black, at insurebloomsburg.com.
For over 50 years, you've trusted Overhead Door to provide the finest quality residential and commercial garage door products, installation, and service. With winter right around the corner, your garage doors need a tune-up. For only $99 for one or $125 for multiple doors, they'll check, lube, and adjust your garage doors and openers so they operate smoothly. Call for their seasonal tune-up special, Overhead Door of Berwick. They're more than just doors. See their 5-star rating on their Google business page or visit ohdberwick.com.
Berwick Dental Arts, 9th Street in Berwick, is proud to be keeping generations of beautiful smiles across Bulldog Nation. Dr. Susan Ermish, Dr. Nathaniel Fluke, and their staff practice general and restorative dentistry, and they're open Monday through Friday. Whether you need a simple cleaning or a complicated procedure, Berwick Dental Arts will see that you have the best smile so you can be your best. Berwick Dental Arts, 9th Street in Berwick, is a proud supporter of Berwick Bulldogs football. Visit their website at berwickdentalarts.com.
Stop. Don't make your next car payment. Instead, get a new vehicle at Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg. Because right now, we're offering a 120% of Kelley Blue Book trade value buyback bonus, up to $2,500. Just find the vehicle you want from our huge selection of new Buicks and GMCs and get 120% of KBB trade-in value for yours. It's the 120% of KBB buyback bonus event going on now at Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg. The lowest price guaranteed.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 35 years experience. And new Bulldog wear for every age, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, polos, hats, and more. They even make online fundraising easy for you. Stop in today to discuss your next fundraising opportunity. You can also shop at masonsmonogramming.com for their new inventory and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogramming for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram Service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
This is Berwick football coach CJ Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
35-0 is the final here. Berwick over Nanticoke. For an update on other scores, let's go to Ben Willis.
Thank you very much, Jim. One of the finals so far tonight, Montgomery over Northwest 45-8 this evening. Other games still underway. Bloomsburg leads Hughesville 25-7 in the third. Milton and Central Columbia now tied at 20-20, also in the third. Crestwood leads Hazleton 14-0 in the fourth. Dallas leads Wyoming Valley West 35-6 in the third. Dunmore leads Mid-Valley 21-7 in the fourth. Wyoming area leads Hanover 55-7 now in the third. Lake Lehman leads Tunkhannock 35-0 in the third quarter. Lewisburg leads Midwest 41-7 now in the fourth. Warrior Run leads Loyalsock 23-17 also in the fourth quarter. Southern Columbia leads Mifflinburg 26-19 in the fourth. Mount Carmel leads Danville 19-14 in the fourth. Wilkes-Barre leads Pittston 21-10 in the fourth quarter. Other fourth quarter scores: Selinsgrove leads Shikellamy 14-7. Shamokin leads Williamsport 28-16. And Valley View leads North Pocono 21-14. Those in the fourth. And in the third, Western Wayne leads West Granton 42-16. Back to you, Jim.
Thank you very much, Ben. Right here, Berwick wins it 41-0 over Nanticoke. In the first quarter, Ty Wilkerson with two long touchdown runs of 37 and 70 yards. Caleb Yost, a couple of extra points. 14-0 Bulldogs after one. In the second quarter, they went to Billy Hansen throwing the football. He had never thrown a touchdown pass prior to that second quarter. He threw three in the quarter. 28 yards to Skylar Neville, 25 yards to Julian Howie, 11 yards to Ty Wilkerson. Caleb Yost perfect with extra points. Bulldogs put it into the mercy rule, 35-0 at the half. Only scoring in the second half came with the subs in for both teams. It came with 1:04 to go in the game. A keeper of 13 yards by Berwick quarterback Ashton Smith. Kick failed for the extra point. Berwick wins it 41-0. Stats, Sandy Ulick.
Well, Berwick dominant, Jim. How about the defense holding Nanticoke to a net of 36 yards? On the ground, 25 rushes, 45 positive, but minus 24. Big 18-yard loss, credited to the team on the bad snap toward the end of the game. So a net of just 21 yards rushing. Passing, they were 3 of 6 for 15 yards. The 3 completions came in the first half. Running, they tried for a lot. Allen, the leading rusher on this team, 17 carries, just 28 yards. Christopher Julian had 2 carries for a net of 2. Tyler Skordensky, he had 2 carries from his fullback spot for 12. James Bush, 2 for 3. Quarterback Michael Stahoviak, 2 for -6. Total offense for Nanticoke area. as Berwick plays great defensive football. Great offensive football as well. At half, they had 345 yards. They went a lot more of vanilla and suffered a... .122 in the air is the same as the halftime numbers. Jillian Howie with 2 catches for 73 yards. Tyler Wilkerson caught an 11-yard touchdown. Skylar Neville caught a 28-yard touchdown. And Aiden George looked good on his catch, going for 10 yards. 5 of 8 passing, 122 in the air. The running backs, the star of the day was Tyler Wilkerson. Almost all of his action in the first half. In fact, he had 179 at halftime on 9 carries. He finishes with 12 for 173 as they catch him in the backfield on his few carries of the second half. Gavin Galusha, coming back from injury, looked good. 10 carries for 74 yards for him. Brock Sims, toward the end of the game, 2 carries for 14. You mentioned the quarterback switch toward the end. Ashton Smith on a bootleg takes it 13 yards for a touchdown. And Billy Hansen, who did most of the quarterbacking, he'll have 4 carries for just a net of 2. 276 on the ground, 122 in the air, 398 is Berwick's total here in this game, Jim, and they looked sharp.
They did indeed. Nanticoke with the loss falls to 1-6. They'll be home against Honesdale next Friday night. The Bulldogs will take a 2-5 record to Williamsport next Friday. That game kicks off at 7. We hope you'll join us for the broadcast. It starts, as usual, at 6 with the C.J. Curry Show. The final again tonight, Berwick 41, Nanticoke nothing. For Andy Lickney and our producer, Ben Willis, this is Jim Doyle reminding you heard it live on Pop Radio.
You've been listening to Berwick Bulldogs football on Pop Radio. Brought to you by
Overhead Door of Berwick, Berwick Notary, State Farm Insurance, Sean Black and Lori Powell, First Keystone Community Bank, the Willows Golf Course, Journey Bank, Flick Brothers Electric in Bloomsburg, Blaze Alexander Family Buick GMC of Bloomsburg, Berwick Dental Arts, W&L Subaru, Nissan and Mazda, Reds Roofing, Preferred Portables, Nespoli Jewelers, Neighborhood Fence, Ken Pollock Ford, Mayo Funeral Home, ND Accounting and Consulting, and Mason's Monogram Service.
We now rejoin our regular programming already in progress.